Something incredible. Their very own HELOC and lines of credit. Approval in just 5 minutes. Money in your account in as little as 4 days. It's the easiest system you've ever used. You can do it yourself online. Whether you want to pay off bills, tackle a home project, cover education, or even a wedding, Fellowship Home Loans makes it simple to leverage the money that's already sitting in your house. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G. fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G. or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans. Mortgage lending guided by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
President Trump has fired off a letter to the BBC threatening legal action over the way a speech he delivered was edited in a documentary aired by the British broadcaster. The BBC's top executive and its head of news both quit on Sunday over allegations of bias and misleading editing. In the documentary aired before the 2024 election, the president's January 6, 2021 speech was edited to leave out his call for a peaceful protest. Pakistani security officials say a powerful car bomb that exploded outside a sprawling district court in Islamabad has killed at least a dozen people. Today's blast, which was heard miles away, also damaged several vehicles outside the court. It struck at a time when the area is typically crowded with hundreds of visitors attending court hearings. And there's been no immediate claim of responsibility, although Pakistan has struggled with terrorist attacks across the country recently. News and analysis, townhall.com. A deadly natural disaster, and specifically the response to the tragedy, is spawning lawsuits in Texas.
The families of some of the 27 girls who died in flooding in Texas July 4th are suing Camp Mystic and its owners. In separate suits filed Monday in Austin, the families allege camp operators failed to take necessary steps to protect their daughters as life-threatening floodwaters approached. Plaintiffs are seeking more than $1 million in damages. So far, no response from attorneys representing the camp. Jason Walker reporting.
China's largest online sales festival is called Singles Day. It's getting longer as retailers try to entice frugal shoppers into spending more money. This year, it's a 5-week festival, and it is scheduled to draw to a close later this week. More on these stories at townhall.com.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Good morning to the John Fredericks Radio Network. We are indeed broadcasting live from our studios in downtown Nashville. It is Monday, November 11th, or Tuesday. I skipped a day. How do you do that? It's Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. And as you know, we do the morning rundown at this time, every day at this time, brought to you by our friends at the Glock Store. Glock Store located just a few miles from the airport, right here in Nashville, Tennessee. So here we go. Here's the morning rundown for Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. Number one, it is Veterans Day today. Bank holidays. A lot of other folks are taking holidays. Of course, your intrepid radio host, broadcasters, and our producers, we're not taking the day off, nor is all the reporters at the Tennessee Star and the Star News Network. It is the 107th anniversary of the treaty that ended World War I on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. It's a day we honor all those Americans who have served in our armed forces. So thank you. If you've ever served in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, Marines, or the Coast Guard, we thank you for your service. Number two, last night the Senate passed a bill to end the shutdown, 60-40. There were 8 who caucused with the Democrats, who joined 52 Republicans. Rand Paul, out on his island of libertarian self-isolation, voted against it. Now it goes to the House of Representatives, where a vote is expected Wednesday. The margin will be narrow. Yeah, we can lose another libertarian islander, Thomas Massey, but not much more beyond that. We think it'll pass. Number 3, Donald Trump says it's time to fix Obamacare, which is a complete disaster. He's right. He kind of trotted out the name Trump Care. I don't know if I don't know if we're going to get a comprehensive change, though. We'll get some incremental changes on it, like healthcare savings account, things of that nature. Number 4, more success in Memphis with the National Guard and the task force stopping crime there. We'll talk about that in the final segment of this program with our good friend Tom Pappert. Number 5, Turning Point USA goes to Berkeley, the belly of the beast, which, by the way, in the 1960s was the beginning of the free speech movement. Today, in 2025, not a lot of not unanimity there that free speech is a good thing. Antifa, they had to get some police in there to stop it. The crowd inside was pretty big, but the Antifa guys were, kind of semi-violent. Violent, yeah, actually, that's a word. Number 6, Tom Pappert will join us at the bottom of this hour to talk about the never-ending story of, wait for it. Do you know what the never-ending story is? Yes, you do. Kilmar Abrego Garcia. $10 million in legal fees, estimated, to promote the due process rights of an illegal alien who has been arrested for alleged human smuggling. It's crazy. Number 7, the official guest host of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, E.J. Haas, joins us in hour 2. Number 8, Clint Brewer joins us in hour 3. We're going to throw a curveball at Clint. We're going to talk about the problem that sports betting has apparently created. Gambling by NBA players. It's some indicted. Now, none guilty. They've been charged. And now Major League Baseball players in sort of some gambling scandals. We'll see how that all plays out. And then number 9, kind of for fun, last night Donald Trump gave Laura Ingraham an interview and a tour of the Oval Office. We've got the highlights of that. So there you go. That is the morning rundown for Tuesday, November 11th, 2025, brought to you by our friends at the Glock Store. Now, this is when I talk to you about my friend Lenny McGill, the CEO and founder of the Glock Store, and the Glock Store. They've been a sponsor of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show for years, even before it was the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, way back when I had to get up at dark 100 from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. on the iHeart media station here in town, Nashville, and 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Oh, my goodness. Thank goodness we don't do that anymore. But the guys at the Glock Store were sponsoring us even back then. Well, this year, the Glock Store has set their sights on Black Friday. Yeah, they do these open houses every year, and now they're going to do something on Black Friday. The open houses usually, I think, happen in May. This year, it's an event you're going to want to try and attend from wherever you are. The details are just now coming together, but if I had to guess, I'm thinking huge discounts on everything. Huge, including Glocks, tons of giveaways, great foods, maybe some live music, and tons of giveaways. Yes, I did mention tons of giveaways because no one does giveaways like the Glock Store does giveaways. Now, of course, all the great Black Friday deals will also be available online, but the real party will be right here in Nashville at the Glock Store, just a couple miles from the airport. That's the Black Friday celebration from Lenny McGill and the one and only Glock Store, minutes from the Nashville airport. Yeah, air traffic will probably be back up and running by the time of Black Friday, so you could, you test it out. Come on down here. Or you could drive from anywhere, especially on Black Friday. So there you go. That's the morning rundown for Tuesday, November 11th, 2025, Veterans Day. Okay, Donald Trump was in full form last night. He had a couple things to say. Here is Donald Trump talking about Gavin Newsom. Clip 3.
Gavin Newsom had a message, sir, for his fellow Democrats after this shutdown deal.
Sounds like some of my colleagues and friends in the United States Senate, some of my Democratic colleagues just decided that we're playing by the old set of rules, not the new set of rules, and may have rolled over a little bit. Right now, we've got to hold the line because I think America will become unrecognizable in a year or two unless we fight back.
He wants to fight harder, and he thinks the Democrats aren't fighting hard enough against you and, of course, the Republicans, Gavin Newsom.
I mean, I knew Gavin for 4 years. I got along great with him. but he's gone radical left. And, you know, he's building a train system from San Francisco to L.A. that's got about a 2,000 or 3,000% cost overruns. The worst thing I've never seen anything like it. I've seen cost overruns. I've never seen anything like that. If you take a look at what he's done, so they lost 25,000 houses. Do you know they haven't issued one building permit yet? So these people are trying to rebuild the houses.
Malibu.
But he did something. He did something even worse than that. He's now taking a big section of Palisades or some area, and he's going to build low-income housing where they used to have luxury housing. He's going to put low-income housing in. His fire stuff is out of control. The forests are burning down all over the place. And honestly, I always liked him, but he's a horrible governor. He's a horrible governor. If he ran the country like that, we would have an absolutely gonzo country. This country would be gone. The fact is, if I weren't president, if Kamala got in, you wouldn't have, not only wouldn't you have $20 trillion coming in, you would have money leaving, and your welfare system. Take a look at some of the welfare things that we're talking about. They've doubled, tripled, and quadrupled since I left office.
SNAP benefits have
well, SNAP has gone from
high.
like $7 billion to many times $7 billion. And, you know, people keep talking about SNAP. But SNAP is supposed to be if you're down and out, you really, really have. That's what the purpose of it. People are getting, they walk in and they get it automatically now. So the number is many times what it should be. It's disgraceful.
Can we change
You wouldn't
that?
have been able, I'll tell you what. This country would have been busted, 100% busted, within 5 months into a new administration if I didn't win.
Okay, now, Trump makes good common sense there, doesn't he? Yeah. And the other thing I want to point out about this is all of the Democrats, the leading Democrats, are just insane. They are promoting policies that are the exact opposite of common sense. If a Democrat ever gets power again, as the president, if the Democrats control the House, if the Democrats control the Senate, it will be beyond terrible. With that, we'll come back after this. We've got some good news to talk about. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy.
Ponder this. Do you think the world is heading off the rails and that many people have become unhinged? In America, we see people rioting, looting, and even killing to express dissatisfaction and disagreements with contrary lifestyles and points of view. Take heart. God knew from the beginning of time that these conditions would come about, and He chose each one of us to carry out His mission of love and justice at this time in history. We each have a role to play. Some of us will have a very public role, while others are called to keep peace and calm where they are planted. Many are called to raise God-fearing children in healthy Christian families. Wherever God has placed you, pray to know His will for you. Pray hard. Sometimes persistence and perseverance in prayer brings amazing results. God is listening and often wants to hear from you over and over again. Your job is to know God's will for you and just do it. And pray, trust, and persevere. I'm Susie Kelly at ponderfulmoments.org.
Is your fur baby looking a bit rough? Transform them from shaggy to snazzy with Befur and After Pet Grooming in Marietta, Georgia. Their top-notch groomers pamper your pups with baths, custom cuts, and nail trims that'll have them strutting like show dogs. From mobile grooming vans to their cozy salon, they'll make your pet spa day a tail-wagging blast. Book now at BefurandAfterGrooming.com. Befur and After, where pets go from grr to glamorous.
President Trump is rebuilding our economy, but we need every American in the fight. People leaving federal prison have a 60% unemployment rate, but a job is the number one factor in preventing reoffense. The Safer Supervision Act is a pro-jobs bill. It helps people leaving prison on federal supervision rejoin our workforce to turn former prisoners into taxpayers. Strengthen our economy. Make America safer. Support the Safer Supervision Act. Visit safersupervision.com. This message paid for by the Reform Action Fund.
Have you looked at your power bill lately? Electricity prices are at all-time highs, and they're only going up. Even worse, power outages are becoming more and more common. In fact, according to the Department of Energy, blackouts could increase 10,000% over the next few years. If you don't have a backup generator for your home, it's time to get one. But gas generators, they're loud, high maintenance, and they produce dangerous exhaust fumes. The Grid Doctor 3300 solar generator from My Patriot Supply is different. It's whisper quiet, requires no fuel, and it's safe to use indoors. Yet, it delivers enough power to run almost anything in your home. Best of all, you can get a Grid Doctor 3300 for $0 down and as little as $104 a month when you shop at MyPatriotSupply.com. That's right, 3,300 watts of backup power delivered to your door for as little as $104 per month. See the page for more details at MyPatriotSupply.com. That's MyPatriotSupply.com.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at GlockStore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at GlockStore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
I didn't risk my life for this country just to watch career politicians wreck it.
Matt Van Epps, 9 combat tours, true American hero.
Now, I'm on a new mission to bring down prices, create good-paying jobs, and lower healthcare costs for working families. I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message to fight for America, because that's what I've done my whole life.
Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back. Our phone number, if you want to call in, is 615-814-2848. 615-814-2848. Just give us a call. We need 3 things from you. Number 1, your name. Number 2, the state in which you reside. And number 3, your topic. Very simple. 615-814-2848. Number 1, your name. Number 2, the state in which you reside. And number 3, your topic. Well, Charles Dickens wrote a book called A Tale of Two Cities way back in the 19th century. It was really about the difference between London and Paris during the French Revolution. One city was totally out of control. The other city was sane back then. Paris, of course, was the totally out of control city. Now, I'm going to talk about a tale of two cities. It might be like a tale of two city types. Are there any cities where sanity is on a comeback? Most cities in America, with the exception of Miami, which is, obviously doing great. They've got a Republican mayor down there. But the other 25 cities, the other top 25 cities in America, have all become kind of third world blank holes, right? You know what I mean by that. They're taking over. They've got all sorts of, crime problems. They've got high taxes, bad schools, and they're all run by Democrats. Well, we do have a tale of two cities in this regard, two city types. Memphis, Tennessee, has been a Democrat stronghold for a long time, but thanks to the great work of our good friend, State Senator Brent Taylor, whose mission in life is to make Memphis matter, and it does matter, actually, to all Tennesseans. Tennessee is a great state, and every city in Tennessee should be a great city. Now, Memphis has had crime problems, And, of course, there's this now federal task force down there. We'll talk to Tom Pappert a little bit later in this hour to talk about all the great things that have happened from that task force. It does include National Guard as well. Brent Taylor was down in Memphis, and, well, let's just say he's giving United States Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana a run for his money when it comes to memorable quips, rather. Here we go. State Senator Brent Taylor down in Memphis yesterday. He was in a white liberal yuppified part of town.
Hi, folks. This is Senator Brent Taylor coming to you from what some would say is the most liberal bastion in Memphis, and that's the Cooper Young area. You can tell it from this silly-ass rainbow crosswalk here. But I'm here on a Make Memphis Matter challenge. And even though, as you've seen in the Daily Memphian, some of the comments from my haters that live down here in Cooper Young in Midtown, you know that they have different policy preferences than I do. But even though I have worked hard to make Memphis matter by making Memphis safe, and the Memphis Safe Task Force is here making all of Memphis safe. So yes, Cooper Young and Midtown, they benefit from my efforts to make Memphis matter and make Memphis safe. I just came from Young Avenue Deli, great lunch. I encourage everyone to go out to your favorite restaurant, your favorite business. Let's show them some love, because crime has really hurt businesses over the last several years. This is an opportunity for us to show them that we support our local businesses. Thank you, God bless you, and may God bless the great state of Tennessee.
And the city of Memphis. I just love what Brent Taylor's doing. Look, he's promoting common sense policies in a city that has lacked common sense, and for many years it's resulted in high crime, and he's building bridges to the Democrats that will talk to him. And the mayor of Memphis is a Democrat, Paul Young, and he has been open to this idea, and it's worked well for the residents of Memphis. I can't say enough good things about both Brent Taylor and Mayor Paul Young of Memphis. Now, a tale of two cities, a tale of two city types. Last night in Berkeley, California, it's the San Francisco Bay Area. It's right across the Bay Bridge from San Francisco. It is a far, far left campus, and Antifa guys were there. There was a Turning Point USA event, and the Antifa crowd, well, they made it difficult for Turning Point USA kids to get into this event. Here, let's play this clip right now, clip 5.
This is Savannah Hernandez at UC Berkeley at the TPUSA Out of the Bay protest. Now, it is about 7 p.m. at this point, but this has been going on since 4:30, and my friends, it has been absolute chaos. Now, at the beginning of the night, you quickly had 2 people that were arrested. One person was a Trump supporter, another was an Antifa member, and as the Trump supporter was getting arrested, he stated that the Antifa member came and tried to steal his stuff, resulting in the altercation. Now, that happened fairly quickly at the beginning of the protest, and everything just evolved since then.
And we've got another clip there that shows the detail of, there were 50 police officers there forming a line against, there were 60 or 70 Antifa toughies there, supposedly toughies, wearing masks and throwing, just causing chaos. Now, there's another city type, which is Chicago, pretty much every other city. What are the cities that are going to do well? Memphis and Miami. And then every other Democrat city. Nashville's kind of in the balance right now. But Chicago is run by a complete lunatic. Let's hear from him, Brandon Johnson. You got to listen to this. Clip 12.
Brandon Johnson is asking the United Nations to intervene to stop your operations. Here is what he said before the UN Human Rights Council. Listen to this.
The federal government's immigration enforcement has been marked by violence and an assault on the dignity of all Chicagoans. I call on this council to hold the federal government of the United States to the same standards of accountability you apply elsewhere in the world. No country should be above international law. I urge the Human Rights Council to consider additional measures of accountability, including a special session to examine the worsening human rights crisis in the United States.
Tom, this is just pure lunacy, but what is your reaction to all of that?
He just proved he's not that smart, right? I mean, asking the United Nations to talk, interfere with ICE enforcing U.S. law, it's like asking an arsonist how to stop a fire. Because the UN, remember, the IOM, the part of the UN, helped fund the mass migration during the Biden administration 4 years, spending millions upon millions of dollars helping that migration, international migration, come to the United States. So, the United Nations is not going to tell President Trump what to do. President Trump was put in office on the promise of making this country safe again, on the promise of having the historic deportation operation. That's exactly what America is getting. Every criminal alien ICE and Border Patrol takes off the street makes this country safer. We have the most secure border in the history of the nation right now because of leadership of President Trump, the men and women of the Border Patrol, and because ICE. What ICE is doing in the interior every day, they've sent a message across the globe. Don't spend your life savings, cross the border illegally, think you're going to get away in the United States. Because of what ICE is doing, people aren't spending their life savings, putting themselves in harm's way. Thousands of people aren't dying making that journey. Thousands of Americans aren't dying from fentanyl because of that secure border. But the actions of the interior, the ICE and Border Patrol, has a lot to do why we have the most secure border in the history of this nation today.
And you're doing such a great job, Tom. Kevin.
So,
Cork,
okay, let's get to the core of this matter. I've said this many times. What do we have going on in the country today? Well, we have a problem in the sense that, 25% of the residents of the United States have gone entirely crazy? And they live largely in blue cities. And they don't have a common understanding of what the United States of America is about, our heritage, our culture, our Constitution. They reject it. They reject every element of American exceptionalism. And this is the problem that we're dealing with. And there's only one thing we can do. Win. We have to defeat it. We can't compromise with this. Not at all. When we come back, Tom Papper joins us. The latest on the $10 million estimated legal fee spent to promote due process for the illegal alien with a final deportation order who's been arrested and charged with human smuggling. Back after this.
Now more than ever, it's imperative to support companies that share our conservative values. That's why I can't be more excited to tell you that I've switched my family to Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you shift your support away from the leftist, woke, progressive agendas of Big Mobile. Patriot Mobile's wireless service works perfectly and seamlessly as you go about your lives with exceptional nationwide coverage that uses the same towers the main carriers use. Patriot Mobile donates a portion of every dollar earned to causes you care about, to organizations that fight for religious freedom, First and Second Amendments, sanctity of life, and the needs of veterans and first responders. Patriot Mobile has plans to fit any budget, along with great discounts for our veterans and first responder heroes, as well as multi-line users. Switching is easy. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Godzilla or call their U.S.-based customer service team, 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-728-7468. Use offer code Godzilla for free activation. Did you ever stop and think, why do the wealthy pay less taxes than we do? One reason, they take full advantage of the IRS tax code. Today's tax code is over 2 million pages. Who can read that? Remember the 2016 debate with Hillary Clinton? When asked why he doesn't pay more taxes, President Trump had the perfect answer. He said, if you don't like the current tax code, change it. I follow the very laws that you wrote. That's where Julio Gonzalez and his company, Tax Engineered Services, comes in. Julio's team looks at your taxes after they're done, but before you file them with the IRS. He doesn't get between you and your accountant. He reviews your taxes, makes his recommendations, and only gets 5 to 10% of what he saved you. No money up front, no cost. It's tax literacy for MAGA. He also sees what grants you may qualify for. For more information, text ETS to the number 26786. That's ETS to 26786. Text now.
John Fredericks Media on YouTube is all that and more. Wake up to watch the John Fredericks Show live and stay on top of the news you need to know. Rewatch your favorite guest interviews, follow John's national media appearances, and dig into the archives of America's Godzilla of Truth. All that and more. It's John Fredericks Media on YouTube. Hit YouTube, search John Fredericks Media, subscribe, bookmark it, log in today. John Fredericks Media on YouTube.
Is your pet ready for some possum fun? At Creekside Pet Hotel in Kennesaw, every day is a tail-wagging adventure. Whether they're romping with friends in day camp, enjoying a staycation in our cozy boarding, or getting pampered in our luxury spa, we make sure every furry guest gets the royal treatment. Happy pets, wagging tails, and the best care. What more could they ask for? Book your pet's perfect getaway today at creeksidepethotel.com or give us a call at 770-422-4700.
I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message.
Meet woke liberal Afton Bain.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Afton Bain, so woke she thinks it's a win to harass police.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Woke liberal Afton Bain. When she wins, we lose.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
My fellow Americans, I have to tell you about my good friends at D.T. McCall & Sons. They have furniture and appliances and a lot more. They've been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years, and they're not going to rip you off. No hidden charges, no delivery charges. No charges for all of the crazy things. These are sick people at the lumber yards. These are very sick people. They charge you for cords and hoses and haul off. They charge you for all of these things. They call them hidden charges. It's the type of surprise that you don't want to see. It's like an October surprise, but it's worse. D.T. McCall & Sons, they're not going to do that. They're great people. They're going to give you a great deal. With locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, D.T. McCall & Sons will give you the deal of your life. Check them out today or go to dtmccalls.com.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from our studios in Nashville, Tennessee. We are joined on a Zoom Newsmaker line right now by our very good friend Tom Pappert. Tom, a lead political reporter of the Tennessee Star and the Star News Network. Okay, here we go again. How many stories, how many twists and turns have there been in the saga of the illegal alien with a final deportation order for either Guatemala, says the judge's decision, or El Salvador, says his supporters, and who's been arrested on charges of human smuggling, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, after, an estimated $10 million or so of legal fees to support this guy from how many attorneys? And yet...
4 different law firms.
And yet, 4 different law firms, high-end, and yet the saga continues. What on earth is the latest in the pursuit of due process for one Kilmar Abrego Garcia?
Well, Michael, I hesitate to say because it seems too optimistic, but we might be approaching the end of this saga.
I don't know, Tom. I don't know. What, Tom?
I'll knock on some wood.
What will we have to report on? Because, it seems
well, perhaps you'll have to send me to Liberia, and I can be the Africa correspondent to keep us up to date on what Kilmar is up to after he is removed.
I hear Monrovia is quite a hot spot these days in Liberia.
Well, that's one way to put it. But, Michael, I'll have you know, you said hotspot. They have been 100% Ebola-free for a decade. So I'm not sure what you mean by that, but they are Ebola-free in Liberia now. Now, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, earlier this week, the government informed the court, the Obama-appointed judge, Paula Zinnes, that Liberia has said they will take Kilmar Abrego Garcia. They know this because Secretary of State Marco Rubio has been working with the foreign government and obtained the same sort of diplomatic assurances that were previously obtained for Liberia. So now we have a country that wants this guy. They're willing to take him.
Hold it. It's for you said previously obtained for which country?
Previously obtained for Costa Rica,
where
Abrego Garcia wants to go.
He wants, does he want to go to Costa Rica? Because his attorneys said he didn't, and then maybe he did. What, again, rigging the game.
Right. Well, it all began, of course, when he was pursuing a plea deal. His attorney said he wants to go to Costa Rica. He's willing to go to Costa Rica. Let's get rid of some of these criminal charges, and he'll agree to go to Costa Rica. Well, despite designating that as his preferred country for removal, Abrego Garcia never wound up accepting that plea deal, which is how he wound up in ICE custody. They gave him until the Monday where he was being released from DOJ custody and then had to return to ICE to make that decision. He ultimately decided against the plea deal. And despite deciding against this plea deal that the government said was their final and best offer, his attorneys have been citing the diplomatic assurances from Costa Rica and saying, well, look, our client already has you've confirmed for our client that he's not going to be persecuted or tortured in Costa Rica. Now, even though we filed a notice saying we fear that he's going to be persecuted or tortured in Costa Rica, we want him to be deported there. The Trump administration, I think, has just said this is too rich. You don't get to negotiate a plea deal, reject it, and then get the outcome that you would have gotten from the plea deal. So instead, they've been pursuing Costa Rica. And Michael,
Liberia.
At this point,
they've been pursuing Liberia.
I'm sorry, they've been pursuing Liberia.
It's easy to confuse Costa Rica and Liberia. I'll tell you why, though. Because it seems like, Tom, every day how many countries have they said he might be tortured in? 24? 25?
24 now.
Oh, yeah, right. Because, everybody in the world, according to his pantheon of attorneys, they're in the business of torturing or persecuting Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Well, and by the way, I mean, not many people would compare Liberia and Costa Rica, but I guess Kilmar Abrego Garcia is just terrified of life in both of them. But regarding Liberia, Kilmar on October 28th went before an immigration judge who tested his claims to fear persecution or torture, and the immigration judge said that they are not valid. So at this point, the only thing keeping Abrego Garcia from getting on a plane to Africa tomorrow is Judge Paula Zinnes, who back in August put out an injunction saying the government is not allowed to deport him until she has her final say on this case. She has been asked to lift this injunction. At this point, Michael, the only thing in my mind that could possibly stand in the way is a provision of the Immigration and Naturalization Act that says illegal immigrants get to pick their preferred country of origin. But again, he's picked Costa Rica, and then he says he's afraid of Costa Rica.
They get to pick their preferred country of origin. I mean, their country of origin
or their preferred country of removal. Sorry.
Oh, they get to pick it? Is there a provision that says that?
Yes, there is. In fact, I've got it in my notes here. It is the Immigration and Naturalization Act, Section 241B2, which, again, it allows them to designate a country they want to be deported to. That country still has to accept them. It has to be in the interests of the United States government. The United States government has to make certain judgments about this country as well. Are they going to keep up what they claim to be their end of the bargain? And I don't think it serves the interests of the United States of America to reward Kilmar Abrego Garcia with life in Costa Rica when he rejected the plea deal that would have got him there.
See, that's the gaming that they're doing, isn't it? Right? They're gonna object to the deportation to Liberia because it conflicts with this element of the law, but then they had rejected that deal previously. So there's got to be some kind of ruling that says, you get to pick your country of origin, except the country of deportation, unless if you reject it, we get to pick it. There's got to be something like that going on, don't you think, Tom?
Well, it only makes sense, Michael. Otherwise, you can play these games until the end of time, and I guess he just really likes the inside of the ICE facility he's been in Pennsylvania for 2.5 months now.
So here's the thing. We said this before. I don't think his attorneys have been serving his interests, because the smart thing they can claim that the Tennessee Highway Patrol didn't have probable cause in November of 2022 when they stopped them. We've seen the tapes. We've seen the speeding. We've seen the swerving of the vehicle. We've seen the fact that he did not have a valid driver's license. We've seen the fact that that vehicle was owned by a convicted human smuggler. We've seen the fact that the 9 people in the back there couldn't speak English. I mean, come on, smell the coffee. I think that they're unlikely to get this dismissed for lack of probable cause in the criminal case. They knew that all along. I think what we're ending up with here is, had they been thinking of their client's best interest back several months ago, they would have taken the deal. Yeah, I'd go to Costa Rica, but that deal's kind of come off the table. Where does this go now, Tom? Is he on a plane to Liberia? Will Judge Zenas say, "Oh, I'm going to remove my prohibition on the deportation of Kilmar Abrego Garcia"?
Well, Michael, this judge, of course, an Obama-appointed judge, far, far left, originally from one of these law firms that helped out Black Lives Matter type cases. I have a hunch she is going to refuse to lift this injunction, and probably she's indicated multiple times that she is approaching a final decision in her case. She just needs to make it. No matter how insane it is, once the decision is made, once it's in black and white, it can be appealed. And this is a judge who is very frequently overruled by higher courts, including the Supreme Court, which even when granting Abrego Garcia the order that said the Trump administration's got to bring him back, they changed the wording that Zenas used because she used words that have no clear definition. So yes, I think this judge is going to rule against Trump. Yes, I think she is going to say that Liberia is not a good option. But at the end of the day, once it's out of her courtroom, the Trump administration is back in charge of its own government.
And the Court of Appeals will probably overrule her, and the Supreme Court may or may not take this up in the chat. I don't think they'll take it up, actually. I think they're pretty busy with other stuff. And Judge Zenas is clearly, in my view, manipulating the law in order to delay this deportation of an illegal alien. I mean, it seems to be pretty obvious to me. Your thoughts on this, Tom Pappert?
Oh, absolutely. She's been the 5th law firm representing Kilmar Abrego Garcia for months now. And again, I guess you can't do anything about these judges. They're having a hard time deciding to even impeach Judge James Boasberg. So the strategy, I think, must be to get it out of her courtroom and into the Court of Appeals, which can once again reverse her order and tell her that she's a very bad judge.
Well, they won't be that direct, but you and I know that. You and I know that is exactly true. I mean, it's not just Paula Zenas. There are a lot of bad judges, aren't there? And
oh, absolutely.
So, well, look. How long? What are the odds that Kilmar Abrego Garcia will be in Liberia? I don't know, for Christmas.
I would say quite high, and that's
really?
for multiple reasons. One, because we're at the point where Liberia will accept him. They want him. The deal has been inked. They just need the judge's permission. But two, because I'm pretty sure the Trump administration will run out of runway to keep Abrego Garcia behind bars in about February. So December 25th, February 1st, there's not a lot of time. And the one thing that all of the Trump administration has been clear about is they do not want Kilmar Abrego Garcia roaming the streets of our country again. They've got to get him out if they're going to keep that promise before February.
Yeah, but he's just a Maryland man and a dad. No, illegal alien, final deportation order, alleged human smuggler. Tom Pappert. Hey, let's talk about something here in Tennessee when we get back. Memphis, doing a lot of great stuff down there, the task force. Back with Tom Pappert after this.
In 2008, the amount of concentrated time people could spend on a task without becoming distracted was 12 seconds. 5 years later, it was only 8 seconds, 1 second less than a goldfish. If you're often distracted or have trouble recalling information, you're likely to fall behind in the demanding, fast-paced 21st century. In other words, brain performance is more critical now than ever. Boost your brain power with Healthy Cells Focus Plus Recall. Science-backed nootropics to help you sharpen focus, concentrate longer, enhance recall, improve mental speed, learn rapidly, and be more alert. It's a pill-free brain supplement made with maximum absorption ingestible gel technology, designed to feed your brain at the cellular level. Take it for a test drive. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of Focus Plus Recall. That's healthycell.com, code GODZILLA for 20% off.
1775 Coffee is giving away free starter kits. Try the dark or medium roast coffee with longevity blend, an infused blend with anti-aging calcium alpha-ketoglutarate, which has been clinically proven to reduce biological age. When you purchase the first 2 bags, you'll receive a free 1775 starter kit, including a third 16-ounce bag of coffee, a matte black tumbler, a frother, a gold scoop, or a reusable K-cup filter. Just order now at 1775coffee.com/Godzilla and claim your free 1775 starter kit while supplies last.
What happens in Virginia doesn't stay in Virginia. It influences policy and policymakers nationwide. The VirginiaStar.com shines a light on the issues in VA that become issues for the USA, with insightful commentary that gets to the fact of the matter. The VirginiaStar.com is your source of wisdom and truth, locally, statewide, and nationally. Log on today and every day. The VirginiaStar.com. The VirginiaStar.com. The Katz and Cosby Show.
It's the top news of the day.
John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby tackle today's biggest issues with a New York state of mind.
We are going to talk about dirty money.
This is a total failure of the media, the journalists, and the Democratic Party.
Treat yourself to a bite of the apple.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
Katz and Cosby, weekdays 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the stations of the John Fredericks Media Network.
And those are the big headlines of the day.
Is your fur baby looking a bit rough? Transform them from shaggy to snazzy with Be Fur and After Pet Grooming in Marietta, Georgia. Their top-notch groomers pamper your pups with baths, custom cuts, and nail trims that'll have them strutting like show dogs. From mobile grooming vans to their cozy salon, they'll make your pet spa day a tail-wagging blast. Book now at BeFurAndAfterGrooming.com. Be Fur and After, where pets go from grr to glamorous.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com, listen to Michael Patrick Leahy, and make America great again.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. On our Zoom Newsmaker line right now, our lead political reporter for the Tennessee Star and the Star News Network, nominee for the Dow Prize for National Journalism Excellence, Tom Pappert. Welcome, Tom.
Glad to be here, Michael. A week and 1 day, and we'll know whether or not we are just double finalists or whether we're a winner.
Well, we are winners. Tom, by the way, you know, the end of the shutdown appears to happen just in time. I've got reservations to fly from Nashville to Washington. I was gonna fly Wednesday afternoon because the event late Wednesday morning because the event is Wednesday evening. It's a black tie event, by the way. And but I think I'm going to have to fly out Tuesday. You know why? Because I don't think that the air traffic controllers are going to be back to work in time, and I think we're still going to have delays. So I think I'm going to have to leave a little bit early to make that. And I may be doing part of the show. I may be joining you and E.J. Host on Wednesday morning and maybe Thursday from John Frederick's studios in Washington, D.C. How about that?
Well, that's the great part about this, I guess. I'd kind of forgotten that John Fredericks, of course, he's been in Virginia, he's been in Pennsylvania, and now under Trump 2.0, I think he's like 10 feet from the White House.
Yeah, he's like 2 blocks from the White House is his studio. So I may be there, or I may be stuck in an airport. I think it's pretty close to being stuck in an airport, Tom. It seems to me. Okay, so let's go and take a look at our own Caitlin Hausler filed a story yesterday. We published it actually early this morning. Headline: Memphis Safe Task Force marks over 100 missing children found, more than 1,000 warrants cleared. U.S. Marshal Services announced that over 100 missing children have been found and more than 1,000 warrants have been cleared since the deployment of federal resources under the Memphis Safe Task Force. Tom, just remind us the elements. Who's part of the Memphis Safe Task Force?
Oh, Michael, it's about every federal agency you can think of. Of course, you have FBI, DEA, but you also have DHS, you have ICE, you have the U.S. Marshal Service, as you mentioned. You also have the Treasury Department, though, that is there to place sanctions and freeze bank accounts. Essentially, this is what Trump has been talking about for months when he says we need a whole-of-government approach to fighting crimes and making our cities safe. That's what is happening in Memphis. You have the DEA, the FBI, the National Guard marching on the streets together to make people safe. And, Michael, these 100 children that you talked about, I was doing a little bit more research this morning. One of them was a 15-year-old child from Hawaii who was found safe and recovered in Memphis.
Wow. Now, hold it. This whole missing children thing, what's the deal on that? 100 missing children, how do they find them? How do they know they're missing? What's the story on that? That's huge.
It is, and I can only imagine, because some of our colleagues in media, let's say, aren't as thorough as we are. But I'm reading from another local outlet here, and the Memphis Safe Task Force received a lead earlier this month from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, saying that the tip said that the tipster employed the minor's father in Hawaii and was aware of them at a construction site in Memphis. Next thing you know, Memphis Safe Task Force is involved. They're at the construction site, and the minor, a 15-year-old, is recovered safely.
Jeez, I mean, I read about all these missing children. That's sort of like an epidemic out there.
And it must be a nightmare for these poor parents. Again, 100 children just in a few days. Additionally, I mean, this is just sort of to give people a little perspective on the extent of this problem. 1,000 warrants have now been cleared. This is outstanding warrants. They made about 2,500 arrests. But Memphis Mayor Paul Young said at the beginning of this deployment, Michael, that there were 10,000 outstanding arrests in the city of Memphis. That means, as great as the progress has been, we've seen almost a 50% drop in reports of serious crime, a 20% drop in all calls to the police. Motor vehicle thefts are down something like 97%. It's just been a tremendous success. They're 1/10 of the way done.
Well, look, I think it's a good start. Where does this go from here? I mean, is the task force going to stay there indefinitely?
Well, of course, that's what Governor Bill Lee has said. He said it will be indefinite, and while the number of people deployed may change, the interagency and intergovernment cooperation, where you have local police coordinating with state troopers, coordinating with federal law enforcement, that will be there indefinitely. But as far as how long the number of people will be deployed, President Trump said about a week ago that they were halfway done. That could indicate that maybe this is going to be a 3-month deployment. I'm not sure, but I certainly hope, this is my hope, and I hope the Trump administration is listening, this should be a permanent feature until these 10,000 arrests are, or these 10,000 outstanding warrants, these 10,000 people that a judge has said, I want this guy in jail, and for whatever reason, local prosecutors, local police have not been able to comply. I think they need to stay until all 10,000 are taken care of.
All right. Tom, thanks so much for that. Really appreciate it. We'll talk to you probably tomorrow because, there'll be another Kilmar Abrego Garcia twist and turn, I'm sure. Or something going on.
Thank you, Michael.
When we come back, the official guest host of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, E.J. Haas, will be with us. Back after this.
Is a record player the best way to listen to music? Of course not. So why are you still taking vitamins in pill form that haven't been upgraded since the 1930s? Even if you don't have trouble swallowing, most vitamins in pill form can't be absorbed very well. It's time to upgrade to the pill-free future of vitamins. Advanced nutrition company, Healthy Cell, created a patent-pending ingestible gel that is clinically proven to have 265% the absorption rate of tablets. These physician-formulated supplements come in a small gel pack. You tear off the top and shoot it down. You can also mix it in water. They taste great, they're convenient on the go, and they're more natural too, without chemical binders, fillers, and coatings. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of any product. That's healthycell.com. HEALTHYCELL.com.
Trump 2.0 is in full effect. How do you keep up with all the action? I'll tell you. TrumpNationNews.com is your inside source for the inside scoop. Manufacturing, jobs, deportations, and the nation's rejuvenation. The first 100 days and beyond. All the news you need and no liberal gibberish. It's the perfect way to start your day. Sign up for the TNN newsletter. Do it today. TrumpNationNews.com. TrumpNationNews.com. Part of the John Fredericks Media Network.
John Fredericks loves his radio and TV audience, but did you know how to follow the Godzilla of Truth wherever you go? Download the John Fredericks Radio Show app to listen live nationwide. For the daily chit-chat, Trucking the Truth, download the Getter app and join the morning fun on Getter Live from 6 to 10 a.m. Follow John Fredericks on Getter, Truth Social, or Twitter at JF Radio.
This is WJFN Goochland, Bonaire, Chester, and WJFB Portsmouth, part of the John Fredericks Media Network.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. The House is the next stop for a bill to reopen the government. The Senate passed the measure last night. The House could take it up as soon as tomorrow. Meanwhile, House Speaker Mike Johnson says that lawmakers will have to make up for lost time once the longest shutdown in U.S. history is over.
Johnson looks forward to Congress returning to a regular legislative session after the House has been in recess for several weeks, and he offers this warning to fellow lawmakers.
There'll be long days and long nights here for the foreseeable future to make up for all this lost time that was imposed upon us.
The House Speaker sent lawmakers home after their September 19th vote to approve a temporary spending bill and has refused to bring them back until the government reopens. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The Senate bill keeps the government funded through January 30th. It keeps SNAP financed through next September, and it guarantees a vote on Obamacare subsidies. Parts of the Midwest and the Great Lakes digging out from the season's first significant snowfall. The lake effect snow machine kicked into high gear as chilly Arctic air filters as far south as Florida.
Local governments across the South have opened heated shelters. Hazardous road conditions are affecting travel in Tennessee, Michigan, Indiana, and Wisconsin. Meanwhile, gardeners in the Midwest and Northeast are advised to protect plants as the growing season ends. In addition, wind chills in Florida might cause iguanas to fall from trees.
And that's correspondent Andrew Stewart. An illegal immigrant from Mexico is under arrest, accused of opening fire on ICE agents in Chicago over the weekend. Death threats against and assaults on ICE agents have skyrocketed in recent months. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 162 points, the NASDAQ down 186. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher, host of The Mike Gallagher Show. I don't mess around when it comes to saving you money. Right now, rates have dropped to the lowest level in over a year and a half. That means if you bought your home or refinanced in the last 3 years, you could be saving hundreds of dollars every month. Lower your rate, lower your monthly payment, even kick that pesky PMI to the curb. And get this, you can skip 2 full months of mortgage payments. But that's not all. Fellowship Home Loans just rolled out something incredible. Their very own HELOC and lines of credit. Approval in just 5 minutes. Money in your account in as little as 4 days. It's the easiest system you've ever used. You can do it yourself online. Whether you want to pay off bills, tackle a home project, cover education, or even a wedding, Fellowship Home Loans makes it simple to leverage the money that's already sitting in your house. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending guided by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
The British government plans to phase out scientific experiments on animals. The tests will be permitted only in exceptional circumstances.
Animal experiments in the UK peaked at more than 4 million a decade ago, but within 5 years had fallen sharply to just under 3 million as alternative methods were developed. The decline has since plateaued, which the government wants to change by using more alternative methods, such as testing human tissue grown in a lab, computer analysis of cells, and the greater use of AI. But many scientists are skeptical that animal tests could one day reach near zero and fear that the government plan could further alienate pharmaceutical companies.
The BBC's Palab Ghosh. Indian police are investigating a deadly car explosion in New Delhi. They have not determined the cause of the blast near the historic Red Fort. It killed more than 8 people. News and analysis, townhall.com. A California public health official says an outbreak of botulism tied to ByHeart baby formula has sickened at least 15 infants across 12 states. ByHeart has expanded an earlier recall. It is now recalling all of its products sold in the U.S. The Rockefeller Center Christmas tree has arrived in Manhattan.
It marks the start of New York City's holiday season. This year's tree is a 75-foot Norway spruce from East Greenbush, a suburb of Albany. It traveled about 150 miles on a flatbed truck to reach its new home. On Saturday, workers used cranes to position the 11-ton tree at 30 Rockefeller Plaza. The spruce will soon be decorated with over 50,000 LED lights and a Swarovski star. It will be lit December 3rd during a live TV broadcast. The tree was donated by Judy Russ and her family. Keith Peters, Washington.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. We're a little feisty this morning. In studio, the official guest host of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, the one, the only, E.J. Host. Hello, E.J.
Hello. Happy Tuesday.
So,
feisty.
Democrats are mean.
They are.
They're nasty.
They're out of control mean, actually.
They have no common sense, and they hate America, and they're mean.
And now they hate each other. It's great.
Which is wonderful. Cheryl Hines, you know Cheryl.
Of course.
She was
wife
the
of
actress,
Mm-hmm.
second or third wife. I don't remember which number she is of RFK Jr.
The latest.
He's a Kennedy, so that's all I have to say.
The last wife.
About that. But she's been, she's a Hollywood, very successful actress.
Mm-hmm.
She was on Curb the Enthusiasm, the quasi-reality show program of Larry David, the co-writer of Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I never found him funny at all.
Seinfeld?
No.
Oh, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Larry David.
Yeah.
I don't find him funny.
Yeah, that's not my humor, but I know a lot of people that like it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I thought Seinfeld is very funny.
Very clever. I like clever humor. I like kind of dry,
subtle,
clever.
dry, clever.
Yeah.
But anyways, Curb the Enthusiasm. has been on for like 10, 11 seasons. I think its last season was last year.
Okay.
Cheryl Hines played his wife, Larry David's wife, for I think like 8 of the seasons, and then they got divorced on the show. And for 9, she wasn't on for the last season. And of course, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. It's been out very, very outspoken, as an independent. All the Democrats hate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. now.
His own family hates Robert F. Kennedy.
Yeah, pretty
Jr.
much. I don't know if anybody in the family likes him.
Yeah, which is a shame.
I'm not in his family, but I like him.
Yeah, I like him.
So, anyways,
seems like let's rephrase. I like his policies.
Yeah.
For the most part, and it's probably only 80 to 85% if I'm being 100% honest.
So Cheryl Hines, because she's in this odd world of Hollywood and then politics.
Right.
And you have to say Washington, D.C. is Hollywood for ugly people, right?
Right.
And I think that's probably true. But now the Kennedy family has had a long connection with Hollywood. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s grandfather, the patriarch, the bootlegger, Joseph Kennedy, started RKO Films.
Yep.
And let us just say he had close personal relationships with many.
I was going to say with many people.
Many movie stars.
You want a little fun fact?
Tell me
about
the fun
EJ?
Fact.
I grew up in Massachusetts.
Yeah, Cape Cod.
Grew up on Cape Cod. Heavily Kennedy focused there.
Oh, Kennedy
and
focused.
You either loved them
or you hated them.
them.
Most people at that time loved them.
Yeah, well, not
But
if you lived there, right? If you lived there, they were kind of a different breed. And to be fair, it was Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So, there was the push-pull on the haves and have-nots. And, I lived in a $25,000 house that was 3 bedrooms, 1 bath that had shag carpet and a sand driveway that used to wash out into the street when it rained.
Yeah.
So I was not one of the haves, in Kennedy's Cape Cod. We were the people who waited on the Kennedys on Cape Cod. But you'd run into them every once in a while. And a friend of mine in elementary school, her mother was a nurse for the Kennedy family.
Yeah.
Like a home nurse. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so Cheryl, the Hollywood connection. Of course, John F. Kennedy.
Sure.
Jr.
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe. Yes, there was something going on there.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. Yikes. Anyways, so Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s current wife, Cheryl Hines, had been married, 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Hollywood glam. She was on the Bill Maher show, and they both agreed Democrats are mean. Here we go. Let's play the clip.
The Republicans have been very kind to me from the beginning. Even from the beginning, when Bobby was running as a Democrat, they weren't mean.
No.
And they never have been.
No.
And I can't say that for the Democrats.
I agree.
And it's
sad because it's not the Democrats we grew up with.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the difference that people don't, I think, see. They're like, why did you turn on the Democrats? Well, first of all, I didn't. Like I said, we voted for the same person. But I'm not going to pretend I don't notice how different they are.
Yeah.
How mean they've become.
Very mean.
Very mean.
Very mean. And those are people who felt it personally, right? And then look at the people who are really the faces of the Democrat Party. Clearly AOC, she does her angry rants and she does her silly little live posts where she's making fun of somebody or yelling at somebody or whatever. And then you've got Jasmine Crockett, unhinged, that one, right?
Mean.
Very, very mean. But even Elizabeth Warren, angry, mean all the time.
Yeah.
Literally all of the Democrats who are putting themselves out there all the time, mean. The only one I can say that tries to not look mean in front of the camera, Amy Klobuchar, Senator Amy Klobuchar out of Minnesota.
But she's behind the camera.
But behind the scenes,
she's real mean.
She's brutal.
Yeah.
So, I think it's just ingrained in them. They're just very angry, and when you're an angry person, I think you have a tendency to be mean.
So it's interesting because one of the things that Bill Maher says is this is, not the Democrats that I knew. So he's about the same age as I am. He grew up in New York City.
Yep.
I grew up in upstate New York, and I can tell you, the Democrats that I knew in upstate New York, I mean, I was a Democrat until I saw the light. I switched.
I dabbled with it in college.
I switched in '84, I think, because I couldn't bring myself to vote for. I lived in California at the time. I could not bring myself to vote for Walter Mondale or Alan Cranston, who was a senator.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. But I mean, all the people that I knew, that my mentors in upstate New York were Democrats, were great people, nice people, kind.
Mm-hmm.
Raleigh Kidder, and a member of the Assembly, written a couple books about a Vietnam War veteran. Stan Lundeen, who was a congressman from upstate New York. When I was a Democrat, I managed his 1980 congressional reelection campaign then it was 39 congressional districts in New York.
Okay.
They've lost about a dozen of them. Very nice guy, very solid guy. But, really since then, the Democrats got mean.
They've just spiraled. They've spiraled into this crazy anger that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Way back when, back in 1976, when I ran as an alternate delegate to the Democrat National Convention, and I was committed to a candidate by the name of Mo Udall. We held a little vigil press conference for him in a little tiny town, Jamestown, New York.
Okay.
And he flew in. Very nice guy. Not an angry guy. Now, today I'd look at him and say, kind of left to center, but still. But the point is that I can't point to a single one of the Democrat leaders today at the national level, with one exception, who is a nice person. John Fetterman.
I can't believe how many times we say that on this show, that he seems to be the voice of reason. I saw him interviewed yesterday.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can't vote in favor of not paying our military or not paying our air traffic controllers or, not feeding people. It just seemed so rational of him to say those things. I think that's the other part of this. Not only are they mean, they're irrational.
Yeah, it's a great combo.
Yeah. Well,
they are mean and irrational.
If you like riots and I mean, it's
the destruction of American civilization.
It's awful that we have to be scared of the Democrats now.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, scared that if they gain power, that people will go to jail. They've said they'll do it.
Mean, irrational, and potentially violent.
Yeah.
Yikes. That's your today's Democrat Party. Back with E.J. Haast after this.
Hey folks, Al Green here for SatPhone. When you're on the go, you want to know you're connected. If it's a family vacation or an off-the-grid escape to a remote destination, having reliable communication helps you feel safe and secure. You can't afford to find yourself in a dead zone. That's why you need SatPhone. SatPhones are reliable, durable, and give you global coverage. If you can get outside, you can get in touch. It's that simple. Make calls from your SatPhone to any regular cell phone in the United States. The phones are $1,500 value, but you can get yours free. Just sign up for a 15-month plan, $94.95 a month. Get 150 minutes monthly that roll to the next month. Go 3 months without using them, that's fine. Yes, 3 months, 450 minutes, all yours. Visit SAT123.com or call 855-980-5830. SAT123.com, 855-980-5830. Get surety and security with your sat phone. Call now.
President Trump is rebuilding our economy, but we need every American in the fight. People leaving federal prison have a 60% unemployment rate, but a job is the #1 factor in preventing reoffense. The Safer Supervision Act is a pro-jobs bill. It helps people leaving prison on federal supervision rejoin our workforce to turn former prisoners into taxpayers. Strengthen our economy. Make America safer. Support the Safer Supervision Act. Visit safersupervision.com. This message paid for by the Reform Action Fund.
Hey folks, Al Green here for SatPhone. When you're on the go, you want to know you're connected. If it's a family vacation or an off-the-grid escape to a remote destination, having reliable communication helps you feel safe and secure. You can't afford to find yourself in a dead zone. That's why you need SatPhone. SatPhones are reliable, durable, and give you global coverage. If you can get outside, you can get in touch. It's that simple. Make calls from your SatPhone to any regular cell phone in the United States. The phones are a $1,500 value, but you can get yours free. Just sign up for a 15-month plan, $94.95 a month. Get 150 minutes monthly that roll to the next month. Go 3 months without using them, that's fine. Yes, 3 months, 450 minutes, all yours. Visit SAT123.com or call 855-980-5830. SAT123.com, 855-980-5830. Get surety and security with your SatPhone. Call now.
Get in. We're stealing homes. We're not like those other home criminals that steal your stuff. We steal your hard-earned home equity. We find your property online from the public record. Got it. Create a deed transfer that makes us the homeowners. Got it. Then borrow tons of cash against your equity, and you won't know till the foreclosure notice hits months later.
Just go to HometitleLock.com/Godzilla. Protect yourself.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at GlockStore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at GlockStore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
I didn't risk my life for this country just to watch career politicians wreck it.
Matt Van Epps, 9 combat tours, true American hero.
Now, I'm on a new mission to bring down prices, create good paying jobs, and lower healthcare costs for working families. I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message to fight for America, because that's what I've done my whole life.
Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. In studio, the one, the only, EJ Haas, the official guest host of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. EJ, you know,
Yes, sir.
Greg Gutfeld has a terrific program on Fox.
The funniest thing on TV.
It really is. And, you know, he always makes fun of the ladies on The View. I mean,
always. If that show shuts down, he's going to have to find a lot of new material to fill in the gaps.
It's the obligatory,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think there's ever been an episode that I've seen recently where there's not been some kind of funny, you know, clip about how bad the hostesses of The View are.
Yeah.
One of those bad hostesses is Joy. How old is Joy Behar, by the way?
Way too old for that face. No, I'm not kidding. I mean, we all know that all of Hollywood wears wigs and hair extensions and all the things, and they have the best makeup artists and everything else. But I don't know, whatever that woman has been doing to her face, more of that for me, please, because as much as I dislike her, she's got good skin.
She does. Is that
there you go. That's the nicest thing I can say about Joy Behar.
She's like 80-something.
Gotta be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not a young spring chicken.
And, you know, she's kind of one of the original mean Democrats, right? And she just spouts off about silly things. You happen to capture the most recent silly thing she spouted off about. Would you like to hear it?
I would.
Here we go. Joy Behar.
And I'd like to know, why am I paying federal taxes if they're not going to do anything, by the way? Is there anybody that can tell me that?
Yeah.
If they want the states to take care of everything, I'll pay state taxes and not federal taxes.
Yeah. Right.
Watch the IRS come after me now.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Wait. Why do I feel like we're living in a matrix right now?
Da-da-da-da,
Joy Behar
da-da.
making the case for states' rights and abolishing the IRS.
Well, there's some, the 16th Amendment is there.
Right. That's a little
income
something.
taxes. Yeah, a little something. There.
But yeah, it's funny to hear all of these Democrats like coming to the realization that the federal government really doesn't do very much, even though we pay them to, right? Like, think about how many billions and billions, trillions of dollars moves around the federal government, goes to different agencies, goes overseas, everything else. The only impacts we're having, not that they aren't severe, but the only real impacts we are seeing from the shutdown for 40 days is SNAP benefits. So people who are reliant on, the government for food or claim to be reliant. We know that there's some waste and fraud in there.
Some would be an understatement.
Yeah,
keep
the
rolling.
percentage of that has got to be higher than we probably all thought.
Yeah.
And then the military, obviously, we do not want to, put ourselves at risk as a country for
And a
Department
lot of them
Defense.
don't make a lot of money, and they're putting their lives at risk. Hello.
Right. And then air traffic control.
Yeah, that's bad.
So we've got like three major things that are disrupting our everyday lives. So why? That's only several $1 billion. Why do we have trillions and trillions moving all over the place? I think it's safe to say that after 40 days, we've now been taught that the federal government spends too much money and quite honestly takes too much of our money. Because we could handle SNAP, we could handle military, and we could handle the air traffic control pretty stinking easily. And not necessarily state level, but like we could do SNAP state level, and we could do quite a lot of the other things that are shut down right now. Military and air traffic control, fine. We could that's pennies when you think about the size of our national debt, our national budget, our national continuing resolution after continuing resolution.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to actually have a budget, would it not?
Joy Behar is 83 years old.
83. Yep.
Yeah. She's kind of a dinosaur in one regard, but she's a well-preserved dinosaur.
Well-preserved. If that's mask, it's the best mask I've ever seen.
Do you know how long she's been the host or co-host of The View?
Oh, gosh. She was on with
the late Barbara
Walters.
Yeah. She started, this will be her 29th year.
Wow.
Except she took 1 year off. I don't know exactly why, about 20 years ago. But that's a long time.
Yeah.
That is a long time.
It's a long time to be that dumb and that mean. Really.
Yeah.
If that's your, who I look to for, I don't know, I wouldn't say advice because he's no longer with us, but I look to Andrew Breitbart.
Yeah.
Happy warrior.
Yeah.
He used to say, be the happy warrior. People want to come to the people who are happy. And I do think that that's part of the problem with the Democrats right now. No one really likes the mean girls. They want to be part of the mean girl clique. But if you can't get in, it's pretty miserable, right?
Yeah.
And obviously Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Houston, they're all the mean girls. Not a whole lot of people. And that's why the one quote unquote conservative who isn't always very conservative is just a revolving door on that show.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're not in the clique.
No, you're there just so they can say, oh, yeah. We do have
We're
a conservative.
balanced.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
only 4-on-1 at every show.
So I think they have some harsh words for Dick Durbin.
Ah.
Dick Durbin, he's the minority whip of the Senate from Illinois. He's retiring, and he was among the 8 Democrats who joined the 52 Republicans to move this bill past the filibuster and pass it. Now, what's interesting about this is I think Chucky Schumer said, okay, Dick, you're going to have to be the guy.
Right.
Yeah, I think he told him.
If you look at all 8, they're either really, really safe, like 2 from Nevada, 2 from New Hampshire.
Not running for re-election.
Right, either not
or
running,
they're John Fetterman.
Or, right, John Fetterman, I think, was the only one who had any sense whatsoever and like moral character to do the right thing. And then Tim Kaine, which I found was a little odd. Something's off about Tim Kaine. I'm not really sure what his angle is.
Yeah, well, but here's what's interesting. Dick Durbin, who's been a lefty, diatribe guy for, decades. Here's what he had to say about this. Clip 4.
Many of my friends are unhappy. They think we should have kept our government closed indefinitely to protest the policies of the Trump administration. I share their opinions of this administration, but cannot accept a strategy which wages political battle at the expense of my neighbor's paycheck or the food for his children. Mr. President, I yield the floor.
Interesting how he phrased it. And the Democrats are doing this. Or the food for his children. Okay, that's SNAP benefits. This is like food stamps for people that, what is your neighbor, Dick, does your neighbor not have a job?
Well, I think we found that a lot of people on SNAP benefits do have jobs. We've heard silly stories about, oh, now I can't go get my eyebrows waxed or my nails done.
Seen some of
things
that.
like that.
Yeah.
So that's going to come out, and those are the most outrageous stories, and that's why they're making the news. So it's important to kind of take a step back and say, okay, that's not everybody. There are people who really and truly do.
But there are a
need the SNAP
lot,
benefits.
and the growth of SNAP. 42 million Americans. What's the growth of SNAP?
That's what I was going to say.
Been,
Under Joe Biden, it really just skyrocketed out of control. And so, we know that there's waste there. We know that illegal immigrants are probably getting it. We've all seen the videos that people will sell their SNAP benefits to some people for cash so that they can go and do other things. We've seen the massive hundreds of dollars worth of junk food and lobster tails and whatever in their Walmart carts.
Mhm.
So, but those are the things that are so outrageous that we're seeing the clips about it. And that's why they're going viral, is because they're outrageous. I think it's important to remember that, SNAP and WIC, they do help people who are otherwise unable to feed themselves, maybe don't have family, they don't have, so I'm just trying to be careful about, trashing everybody, because those people who actually need the help are probably people we can get to vote for Republicans going forward, because we're trying to do the right thing by them and eliminate the waste and eliminate the fraud so that the benefits they do get are valuable.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I'm looking at this is surprising to me. The number of SNAP participants, according to Grok.
Yeah.
40 million in 2010.
Yeah.
42 million today. So not the growth that I thought that it had, but still, I think the numbers in terms of payments are pretty high.
Right. But then more than half of them are on multiple programs.
When we come back, EJ, did you know that Obamacare is a disaster?
I've heard.
Yeah. We'll hear from the original liar about the program, Jonathan Gruber. I'll tell you his story. Back after this.
Let's be real. Losing weight isn't just about looking good. It's about taking back control of your overall health. 42% of adults in America are classified as obese, and obesity is directly linked to severe health issues. If you've tried diets and different workouts with no success, it's not your fault. Big Food and Big Pharma have rigged the system against you with contradicting information, leaving you confused. But there's good news. The Wellness Company just launched Drop, a GLP-1 peptide oral drop formula developed by their chief medical board, specifically designed to support your metabolism, curb cravings, and help you shed weight. That's right. No injections, no risk of the severe side effects we're seeing with the Ozempic. Start your weight loss journey today and get $100 off, plus free shipping. Go to twc.health/Godzilla and use promo code Godzilla100. That's twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla100. Take action today for a healthier tomorrow.
Attorney General Miyares and John Fredericks talk about skill games.
They're unregulated slot machines.
They pop up in 7-Elevens in every corner of Virginia.
The General Assembly has spoken on this.
Skill games.
These things are illegal.
It's the Wild Wild West. Fights break out. Robberies increase.
Skill games.
They prey on the less fortunate.
I say it's a tax on the poor.
They're breaking the law.
My job is to enforce the law. These machines are not allowed.
Enforce the law and get them out of there.
When you see skill games, call the local sheriff.
These things are illegal.
Paid for by Churchill Downs.
Each of us is born with 30 trillion cells that make us. These cells determine how we feel, perform, sleep, focus, and how long we live. And to live our best life, all we have to do is feed our cells properly. But most supplements don't reach our cells, keeping us from reaching our full potential. Make every cell count with Healthy Cell. Founded with a mission to empower people to take control of their own health at the most fundamental level, the cell. Dr. Vincent Giampapa, world-renowned cell researcher and medical doctor, created supplements that work at the cellular level to support immune health, better sleep, sharper focus, and healthy aging. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of any product. That's healthycell.com, HEALTHYCELL, and use code GODZILLA for 20% off.
Is your pet ready for some possum fun? At Creekside Pet Hotel in Kennesaw, every day is a tail-wagging adventure. Whether they're romping with friends in day camp, enjoying a staycation in our cozy boarding, or getting pampered in our luxury spa, we make sure every furry guest gets the royal treatment. Happy pets, wagging tails, and the best care. What more could they ask for? Book your pet's perfect getaway today at creeksidepethotel.com or give us a call at 770-422-4700.
I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message.
Meet woke liberal Afton Bain.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Afton Bain, so woke she thinks it's a win to harass police.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Woke liberal Afton Bain. When she wins, we lose.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
My fellow Americans, I was this close, very close, to buying from the lumber yards. These are sick people. But I turned my head at the last second, and I saw a big, beautiful ad for D.T. McCall's. These are highly respected people. If I had not turned my head at the last second, I would have been ripped off at some lumberyard for $200 in hidden charges, and D.T. McCall & Sons are never going to do that. They'd never do that to you. These are great people. I've known them for a long time. They have great deals, and I just have to say, nobody knows deals like I do. D.T. McCall & Sons has locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, and they have been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years. These are tremendous people. D.T. McCall & Sons. Check out one of their stores today.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
Hi, everyone. EJ Host here, founder of the Digital Footprint Management Agency and frequent guest on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, here to tell you about GetFoundEverywhere.com. Customers are searching for your business everywhere: Google, Apple Maps, TikTok, and new AI platforms like ChatGPT and Gemini, which is a total disruptor. Traditional search engine optimization isn't dead, but it is on life support. Old tactics don't work anymore. So how can you make your business stand out? GetFoundEverywhere.com makes your business pop on over 50 search, map, review, and AI-driven platforms. With one easy dashboard, manage business profiles, social media accounts, direct messages, even texts and reviews. GetFoundEverywhere.com is affordable, boosts your visibility, and gets your business more customers. It's time to step up your game the easy way. Save time, save money, and get more customers with GetFoundEverywhere.com.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
EJ Host here in studio. You know, the Democrats have kind of perfected the manipulation of language. And in this instance, and there's been some studies on manipulating language. the buzzword in the most recent elections in Virginia and New York and New Jersey focused on affordability.
Yeah.
And one of the least affordable things in America is healthcare. Why is it not affordable? Because Obamacare is an utter, complete disaster.
Affordable Care Act that is anything but affordable.
It's not affordable at all, and it's filled with lies. If you want to keep your doctor, you can, or your healthcare plan. No, those are all lies. Everybody knows they were lies.
Yep.
And the bizarre thing about this is in the famous 2012 case that went before the Supreme Court to challenge the constitutionality of the individual mandate.
Is it a tax? Is it not a tax?
Is it a tax? Is it not a tax? So John Roberts, whom I knew briefly.
Justice Roberts, yes.
Yes, the Chief Justice, made an absolutely terrible decision, wrote a terrible decision. Now, I'm going to actually say he's subsequently been actually much better.
Yeah, that's a black eye on his record, is it not?
Yeah, well, again, 2012, a long time ago, but yes, it is. It's a terrible decision. And he decided in the same decision that it was a tax and not a penalty in the way it was structured so that it would meet a constitutional standard.
Correct.
But every tax bill must originate in the House of Representatives. It did not originate.
It most definitely did not.
It originated in the Senate.
But remember, Obama had control of the White House and the Democrats had control of both.
So Roberts decided, it's not a tax for the purpose of its origination. By the way, it's right there in the Constitution that says taxes must originate in the House. But it is a tax for the determination that it's not a penalty, therefore constitutional. I mean, it made no sense.
Yeah, no, none whatsoever.
It was a crafted decision. It was a 5-4 decision because I think at that time, and Justice Roberts is a institutionalist. And I thought his feeling was at that time, I'm channeling him right here because we know each other so well. I think he was trying to say this would be a huge problem between the executive, the legislative, and the judicial branch. He was badly mistaken.
Sure.
It was also very, very bad economics. It was filled with lies.
We knew that from the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
Very beginning. Do you remember how it passed? It was December.
Well, I was there.
Oh, you were there on the floor?
I've written about it.
Oh, my gosh.
But no, I was in Washington, D.C. I'll tell you the story. So I've written about this extensively in the vast bestseller Covenant of Liberty, the ideological origin of the Tea Party movement, published in 2012. So I was, it passed the Senate through some maneuverings in December, and then it went to the House. I was in Washington. I was there with Ben Cunningham, Mark Skoda, and Milton Wolfe, who later ran for the Senate in Kansas in 2014. Almost won. But we were there. I spoke on the west lawn of the Capitol. And, I had my 3 minutes of Fox News coverage.
There you go.
And told 25,000 people how bad it was. And I was there when Nancy Pelosi and all of the leftists, John Lewis, linked arms, pretended they were doing the Selma Bridge March of 1965, and walked through a crowd of protesters. And when John Lewis lied about somebody allegedly spitting on him, nobody spat on him.
Nobody.
And remember, Andrew Breitbart was there.
Yep.
And Andrew said, okay, I'll pay $100,000 to anybody who can prove that somebody spit on him.
Yep.
Nobody.
No, and everybody had cell phones and there was media there and everything else. Yeah, I mean, just this thing passed with lie after lie after lie and zero Republican support.
Yeah.
Zero. We all said at the time, it's going to cost more, not less. We all said you're not going to be able to keep your doctor. We all said, that insurance companies are going to get really, really rich and they're going to have more control. And nobody listened to us. They all said, that's a bunch of bunk. We want this. It's one step closer to universal health care. This is what we want.
15 years later, it is such a complete disaster. It is beyond a disaster. And back to the lies upon which it was based. So an economist from MIT, Jonathan Gruber, really lied through his teeth. He was the architect of it, but he lied through his teeth about it. And I actually wrote extensively about this at Breitbart when the NFIB v. Sebelius decision was coming out in 2012. We have the smoking gun tape of Jonathan Gruber back in, I think, 2012, 2013, admitting what a liar he was. Clip number 21.
Politically, you just literally cannot do it. Okay, transparent financing, unless I have transparent financing, also transparent spending. I mean, this bill was written in a tortured way to make sure CBO did not score the mandate as taxes. If CBO scored the mandate as taxes, the bill dies. Okay, so it's written to do that. In terms of risk-rated subsidies, if you had a law which said healthy people are going to pay in, it made explicit that healthy people pay in and sick people get money, it would not have passed. Okay, just like lack of transparency is a huge political advantage. And basically, call it the stupidity of the American voter or whatever. But basically, that was really, really critical to getting the thing to pass. And, it's...
Okay, so we lied.
Yeah,
he says.
It was critical, he says. We had to do it
we
so
had
that
to
we
lie.
could get it to pass. I've said this before. My mom said at the time, when it passed and it was thunderous applause, and it reminded me of that Star Wars, thing, "This is how democracy dies," to thunderous applause, that quote. I was at my mom's house in Florida, and she said, by the time we can say "I told you so," it'll be too late.
But it may not be too late in this regard. Everybody knows that the beneficiaries are the health insurance companies.
Right.
Right.
But would we have known that without the shutdown? I think the Democrats, remember a couple of weeks ago, I said, well, they tried saying people would lose their health care, and then we found out that it was a bunch of illegal immigrants. And so they had to walk back that narrative. Then it was, whatever the next thing was. And then they were trying to say, okay, well, health insurance premiums are going to go up. What's happening right now is with the internet, with AI, with, massive amounts of people with computers in their pockets, we're able to search, well, why? The question why is coming up more often now than I think it used to in the past. And they're not able to spin that narrative anymore and just kind of say what they want us to think. We can actually go do the research and find it. And then that the correct answers, the truth is getting amplified more than it ever has before. And so I think the Democrats, especially the ones who voted in favor of opening the government, realize that they're going to lose this narrative. A narrative is everything to them. Like you said, the language is important. The use of words are important. When they lose the narrative, they lose the media, they lose the control over the people, they become unhinged.
So Obamacare's a disaster. Premiums going up. In COVID, the Democrats passed a bill that provide subsidies to everybody. Well, they're set
subsidies to the insurance companies.
Yeah. Thank you for that correction. Now those subsidies are set to expire.
Yeah.
At the end of December.
Democrats' fault.
Yeah.
All of this is Democrats' fault. Can somebody explain to me why Republicans should have to pick up the pieces and fix their problem?
I will explain it.
Scrap it.
Well, yes, except there is a messaging problem.
Yeah.
The messaging problem is, let's just put it this way. The 75% of New York City residents who are, quote, who voted for Mamdani, those kids under 30, they don't understand any of this stuff, right? All they say is, well, yeah, healthcare is too expensive. I need my subsidies. I need the insurance.
Right.
So we've got to communicate that.
But they do understand insurance company fat cats. They understand. I mean, remember, they celebrated Luigi Mangione.
Some of them did.
Right? So they understand insurance companies are just raking us through the coals. So you're right that we need to do a better job of explaining this, but now we've got, a year to do it? So I think we can...
About a year.
But I think if it's scrapped and, potentially Trump and his team were pretty brilliant here. kind of letting this play out the way it did, because a lot of things did come to light and people realized that the ACA is a disaster. And now we have Democrats saying it's a disaster, right? We have Bernie Sanders saying it's a disaster. That's pretty huge.
He was a big champion of it.
Right. Of course he was. But he thought it was going to get you one step closer to universal health care, which is also an anomaly. Like, that's not a real thing. Universal health care, that's not a real thing.
When we come back, we'll have more with the one, the only, E.J. Host. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy. Back after this.
Ponder this. Adding a drop of water to a mostly filled glass of water would not make a noticeable difference. However, adding a drop of arsenic to the same glass of water could be deadly. Likewise, how is it that one person can change the world and another make no noticeable difference? This is the case of a man named Charlie Kirk. He was like a drop of sanity in a culture that is overflowing with insanity. Charlie was not an elected official. He wasn't a powerful businessman. He wasn't even a household name. But Charlie was a man driven by his love for the Lord, his love of family, and his love for country. He knew America was the greatest country in the world, and he saw how his young people were being led astray by unhealthy and anti-Christian ideologies. Charlie was sent by God to be an inspiration to many. If you listen to God's calling as Charlie did, it could perhaps change your life and the lives of those around you like you never thought could be possible. Call on God and ask Him to send you, and be prepared. He will. I'm Susie Kelly at ponderfulmoments.org.
Is your fur baby looking a bit rough? Transform them from shaggy to snazzy with Befur and After Pet Grooming in Marietta, Georgia. Their top-notch groomers pamper your pups with baths, custom cuts, and nail trims that'll have them strutting like show dogs. From mobile grooming vans to their cozy salon, they'll make your pet spa day a tail-wagging blast. Book now at BefurandAfterGrooming.com. Befur and After, where pets go from grr to glamorous.
Let's be real. Losing weight isn't just about looking good. It's about taking back control of your overall health. 42% of adults in America are classified as obese, and obesity is directly linked to severe health issues. If you've tried diets and different workouts with no success, it's not your fault. Big Food and Big Pharma have rigged the system against you with contradicting information, leaving you confused. But there's good news. The Wellness Company just launched Drop, a GLP-1 peptide oral drop formula developed by their chief medical board, specifically designed to support your metabolism, curb cravings, and help you shed weight. That's right. No injections, no risk of the severe side effects we're seeing with the Ozempic. Start your weight loss journey today and get $100 off, plus free shipping. Go to twc.health/Godzilla and use promo code Godzilla100. That's twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla100. Take action today for a healthier tomorrow.
The Cats and Cosby Show.
It's the top news of the day.
John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby tackle today's biggest issues with a New York state of mind.
We are going to talk about dirty money.
This is a total failure of the media, the journalists, and the Democratic Party.
Treat yourself to a bite of the apple.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
Cats and Cosby Media Network.
And those are the big headlines of the day.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com, listen to Michael Patrick Leahy, and make America great again.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
In studio, official guest host of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, EJ House. EJ, Ben Cunningham was listening to us.
One of our favorite people.
And he and I, of course, and Mark Skoda and Milton Wolf and others went up to Washington, D.C. 15 years ago.
Wow, has it been that long? You're dating yourself.
15 years ago. And I barely turned 20 by then.
Yeah.
Anyways.
3 books
we're
published by the time you were 15.
Yes. Yeah. How did you know? So anyways, I was talking about that rally on the west lawn of the Capitol. I'm going to play this clip, and I'm pretty sure this was on the west lawn of the Capitol, but I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it as well. Here we go. Here's the video that Ben Cunningham took 15 years ago when we were protesting the vote coming up on Obamacare. There's a big crowd there. There are about 25,000 people there. You can see it's in some of the house buildings in the back. And now it goes up to, this is the balcony of the Capitol building right there. That's the balcony of the Capitol building. And you can see some people out there, 20,000 people yelling, no. And I can remember this. I'm glad Ben sent this. Do you know who came out from that balcony to encourage the crowd?
I don't.
Representative Marsha Blackburn.
Ah.
She was against it back then.
Yeah, she was.
She was a leader of it.
Yep.
So, I think that was very significant. Now, but the point is.
But can I just say how peaceful that was?
Yes.
Did you notice there was no, FBI agents in the crowd riling things up?
It was peaceful. And as it is with all the Tea Party activities at the time, we left the facility cleaner than it was when we arrived back in March of 2010 there in the Capitol. But the bill passed through all sorts of, questionable legislative, shall we say, craziness, right? But now, right now, even at that time, Democrats were, hardcore. And as a result of that, Nancy Pelosi was Speaker at that time. In November of 2010, we had Election Day Tea Party. The Democrats controlled the House at that time. We had Election Day Tea Party. We got a net gain of 63 votes.
Yep.
And that was the great news.
Yep.
What was the bad news? Well, John Boehner became Speaker.
That's right.
And did absolutely
nada.
Nothing.
Zilch, nothing.
Yeah, by the way, do you know
went
what
golfing with Obama.
And drank a lot of wine. Do you know what he does right now for a living? He's a lobbyist for...
I was just going to say lobbyist. They all go into lobbying.
He's a lobbyist for marijuana producers.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, I know.
Talk about a fall from grace, right?
Oh, he's enjoying his life, But anyways, right now we have crazy people who are in the Democrat Party. Donald Trump last night, in an interview with Laura Ingraham, had a few words to say about those crazy people. Let's play that clip right now.
Knives are out, it looks like, for Chuck Schumer. Ro Khanna is already calling for him to be replaced. What message do you have for Schumer tonight?
Well, I think he made a mistake in going too far. Going
too far, or how?
Well, he just went too far. He thought he could break the Republicans, and the Republicans broke him. But he did think that we have good policy, they have bad policy. And there's something, I don't know if it's Trump derangement or are they just crazed. They're like crazed lunatics. But, we have just great policy. We have good people. They have some good people, too. I know a lot of Democrats. They're not all crazy. They're not all. But you have some that are absolutely terrible. I look at this Crockett. This is a very low IQ person. And I look at somebody that comes from Somalia where they don't have anything. They don't have police. They don't have military. They don't have anything. All they have is crime. And she comes in and tells us how to run our country. The Constitution says this, the Constitution. The whole thing is crazy. I feel badly because I've known Chuck Schumer. I knew him when he was a person who loved Israel, and now he's a Palestinian. He's
okay, so does Chuck Schumer survive as the Senate
he won't.
minority leader?
You know, the new guard is coming in, and Trump is right about Schumer pushing too far. I mean, he overstepped. Right? He came out ahead of his skis, I think, and thought that old tactics would work. He thought that trashing the Republicans in the media would somehow get them to bend the knee, that they would be scared of bad publicity. And the truth is, we're just kind of not scared of that anymore.
So Chuck Schumer didn't call me for any advice, but in retrospect, here's what he should have done. You ready? You ready? And he would still be, he would not be threatened as much as he is right now. Number one, he should not have done the shutdown. He should have passed the continuing resolution.
Yep.
And number two, he should have endorsed Andrew Cuomo.
Probably.
He should have.
And they're longtime friends. It's not like that was a big secret.
Well, I mean, look. Okay, so Cuomo lost 51-41. Mm-hmm. They're coming after you anyways, Chuck.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. Take a stand.
It doesn't matter. Take a stand. Now, would that have helped? Probably not. But still, instead of 51-41, it would have been, I don't know, 47-45.
It shows you he has loyalty to, he only has loyalty to what advances himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't have loyalty to friends or to policies or to the country. How sad and shameful.
E.J. Host, thanks for joining
sir.
us. We'll see you Friday.
Thank you.
In hour one. Back with the one, the only, Clint Brewer, after this.
The Cats and Cosby Show.
It's the top news of the day.
John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby tackle today's biggest issues with a New York state of mind.
We are going to talk about dirty money.
This is a total failure of the media, the journalists, and the Democratic Party.
Treat yourself to a bite of the apple.
It's the big stories.
Cats and Cosby, weekdays 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the stations of the John Fredericks Media Network.
And those are the big headlines of the day.
Lifestyles Unlimited is a real estate education group that gives you the roadmap and resources to start building income through real estate. You'll learn practical strategies for using investment properties to create extra income and make informed decisions, one step at a time. Join today for just $297. That's a 60% savings off the regular price of our real estate education program. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
How much did you win at Rosie's Gaming Emporium?
Hi, I'm Jerry from Richmond. I won a $23,000 jackpot at Rosie's.
I'm Tammy. I'm from Newport News, and I just won a $5,400 jackpot from Rosie's.
Hi, my name is Kim, and I'm from Gloucester, Virginia, and I won $99,000 jackpot at Rosie's.
Are you ready? Learn more about Rosie's rewards and jackpots at rosiesgaming.com. Must be 18 or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-888-532-3500.
John Fredericks loves his radio and TV audience, but did you know how to follow the Godzilla of Truth wherever you go? Download the John Fredericks Radio Show app to listen live nationwide. For the daily chit-chat, Trucking the Truth, download the Getter app and join the morning fun on Getter Live from 6 to 10 a.m. Follow John Fredericks on Getter.
WENO Nashville, KQPN West Memphis. Listen 24/7 with the News Talk 760 app, available in the Apple Store and Google Play.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The Senate has voted to end the longest-running government shutdown in U.S. history. It will take a few days to reverse the impact of the shutdown, including a big dent in the morale and staffing for those who keep the airline. Nick Daniels is president of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association.
This is not politics. This is not ideology. This is the erosion of the safety margin the flying public never sees, but America relies on every single day.
Republican strategist Aaron McGuire says the Democrat shutdown brought out the best in Republican leadership in both the House and Senate.
You saw Democrats try to move their negotiations multiple times, and Thune said, you guys want to vote on this? I'll give you a vote. I can't guarantee outcomes, but get the government open.
The Senate-passed bill now needs final congressional approval from the House before being sent on to President Trump for his signature. It's Veterans Day. The president paid tribute to the nation's military members, and SR News military affairs analyst Robert McGinnis reflected with us on the origins of Veterans Day.
I think as we celebrate Veterans Day, the 11th month, the 11th day, back in 1918 when World War I ended, it was a time to celebrate peace after significant carnage in Europe.
And Colonel McGinnis spoke with the Salem Radio Network. A West Virginia state judge has allowed the continued deployment of more than 300 West Virginia National Guard members to Washington, D.C.
Kanawha County Circuit Judge Richard D. Lindsay made the ruling on Monday. This comes after Judge Lindsay heard arguments in a lawsuit filed by a civic group. That organization says West Virginia GOP Governor Patrick Morrisey exceeded his authority by deploying the Guard. But Governor Morrisey's office contends the deployment is authorized under federal law.
This correspondent Andrew Stewart on Wall Street right now. The Dow is up 319 points. More from townhall.com.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-304-3399. 800-304-3399. That's 800-304-3399.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Here's Rich Thomason with a midday Wall Street Business Report.
Markets are taking the latest step toward ending the government shutdown in stride. The Senate passed legislation last night to reopen the government. The bill now goes to the House, where approval is expected. Then it's on to President Trump for his signature. China's largest online sales festival, dubbed Singles Day, is getting longer as retailers try to entice frugal shoppers to spend more money. This year's 5-week festival will end later this week. Analysts expect shoppers to focus on necessities rather than big-ticket luxury items. Japanese technology giant SoftBank has sold its stake in NVIDIA, raising $5.8 billion. Will put that money into other investments. Tokyo-based SoftBank Group says it sold its stake in NVIDIA last month. I'm Rich Thomason.
Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. The Rockefeller Center Christmas tree has arrived in Manhattan.
It marks the start of New York City's holiday season. This year's tree is a 75-foot Norway spruce from East Greenbush, a suburb of Albany. It traveled about 150 miles on a flatbed truck to reach its new home. On Saturday, workers used cranes to position the 11-ton tree at 30 Rockefeller Plaza. The spruce will soon be decorated with over 50,000 LED lights and a Swarovski star. It will be lit December 3rd during a live TV broadcast. The tree was donated by Judy Russ and her family. Keith Peters, Washington.
Stocks open mixed today as investors digest Monday's tech-led rally and await House action to end the government shutdown. And it's a mixed bag at this hour. The Dow is up by 299 points. The Nasdaq struggling. It's off by 166. You'll find more of these stories at
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. We are indeed broadcasting live from our studios in downtown Nashville. We welcome to our microphones right now all-star panelist, good friend, recovering journalist, man about town sometimes,
occasionally,
on public affairs matters. Clint Brewer, welcome, Clint.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Appreciate you having me.
Well, we're going to talk about sports in this segment.
Okay.
But it's connected to public policy. When all these gambling sites came up, and it was legalized outside of Nevada, just 5 or 6 years ago, I think.
Right.
How long has it been? FanDuel?
It's been almost a decade.
Almost a decade.
Yeah.
A lot of the naysayers said this will corrupt sports. And it didn't happen for a while.
Right.
But now it's happening, at least allegedly. We've had in the past month one instance of indictments of a current NBA player, a current NBA head coach, and a retired NBA player for basically throwing games,
right?
In essence, and betting on it. And there was some related stuff having to do with fixed poker games, which is not the gambling, not the the FanDuel side of it or whatever.
That's just old-fashioned gambling corruption. Yeah.
But now, this is weird. 2 pitchers for the Cleveland
Guardians.
Am I going to have
Guardians.
to say it? The Guardians.
They weren't guarding much.
They were not guarding much. The Indians, now Guardians. 2 pitchers, both pretty good pitchers, have been indicted, not necessarily for throwing games, asterisk, but for literally throwing pitches, throwing bad pitches.
Right.
And people would bet on particular pitches.
Yeah, you can bet on the most incremental things in sports betting. You can bet on the over-under of a quarter. You can bet on the number of passes somebody will throw in a football game. I mean, it is endless, the amount of things you can bet on.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, now look, they are innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, it's all allegations.
It's all allegations. But, Judge Kennesaw Landis, the commissioner who threw out all the Shoeless Joe Jackson in 1920 because of the gambling in the 1919 World Series for the Chicago Black Sox, and Pete Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Both those guys are probably, I'll use the term, spinning in their graves right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just think of the non-gambling brouhaha over the Mitchell report and steroid use. I mean, we had a congressional report on steroid use, and I guess not as much money was involved. But with this, I mean, it feels like it's become pervasive.
It does feel like that. It feels like it's become pervasive. And it was for a long time pervasive in the sense that people have always liked to gamble, right?
Sure.
But now,
well, in gambling, some people might not like to hear this. It's a very American pastime.
Oh yeah. Mississippi River gamblers.
Yeah, I mean,
you saw the movie How the West Was Won.
Oh yeah,
Gregory Peck as
absolutely
an inveterate gambler.
Right. We've gamblers are part of American lore, a part of our folk history in a lot of ways. But now, with it easy access, I was sitting at a bowl game a few years ago watching Tennessee play Purdue, and there were some Purdue fans in front of us, and they were younger people. They never looked up from their phones to watch the game. They were literally betting the entire time.
Yeah.
It looked addictive.
Here's the problem, I think. It's not just the likelihood, if you look at these indictments, and I don't think these indictments came, out of just, vindictiveness.
No.
I think there's rationale for it. There's evidence for it. Now, look, again, I'm not saying these are alleged crimes.
Well, they're indicted for some pretty big crimes.
Big crimes.
It's wire fraud and conspiracy. It's the kind of things you would charge, hardened criminals with.
Typically, when the Department of Justice goes after somebody on stuff like this, they typically have the goods.
Yeah, they don't do it being afraid they're going to miss.
Yeah, exactly. So, having said that, I think the problem here is it's a cultural problem, not as much with the people who are 99% of the gamblers probably are doing it for fun. But that 1% that are crooked, or whatever the number is, they're absolutely trying to game the system to make money. I don't know what the percentage is.
Well, I don't know the type of person that's gaming the system. And, what what kind of person has the ability or the wherewithal to engage with a high-level professional sports athlete to get a game fixed or pitches altered or stacked in such a way that you can bet against it or bet on it and win big? I mean, if those allegations, and they are just allegations, are true, that's a very in-depth scheme. I mean,
that's a high level, and the other part of it has to do with, who are these people associating with?
Right.
They're associating with known gamblers.
Right.
And, in the crime bosses.
Right.
That's in the NBA case.
Right.
And you have to assume that they're an organized crime group of gamblers have affiliated with, have become friendly with.
Or an organized group of people who prey on gamblers. One of the two.
Either
right?
way.
I don't know if they're necessarily gamblers themselves. They're just criminals who like to make money.
Yeah.
As most do.
Yeah. And the thing about the allegations against these pitchers from Cleveland Guardians, I can't even believe I'm saying that. But the allegations are, like, if they would throw pitches in the dirt at a certain time.
Right.
Right. And apparently they have this whole array of clips of them throwing pitches in the dirt. Far beyond the normal amount of times they would throw pitches in the dirt.
Right.
Apparently, they were bribed. The allegation is bribed $7,000 for each bad pitch. Well, one of the guys is making $4 million a year.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you thinking? Allegedly.
I don't know. I think, I mean, there are a lot of cliches out there you can lean into on that. I think there's certainly a wide swath of professional athletes who, despite the amount of money they make, don't take care of it. And, that sounds like penny ante stakes there, $7,000 a pitch when you're making millions and millions of dollars, certainly in pro sports. But, it's all across the board. I mean, I would be, I would have to say these aren't the only guys doing it. These are just the ones that got caught.
So the problem, to me, it seems like the people that are going to have to step up right now and should have been on top of this, because it was understanding human nature. This is inevitable.
Right.
When the opportunity is there that somebody would do it. And I think it's the NBA commissioner who's dropped the ball, the Major League Baseball commissioner dropped the ball. They're going to have to put in order to restore the confidence of the game, they're going to have to put in some very, very serious standards on this. And apparently no such standards currently exist.
Well, what scares me more so than the pro game is the amateur game. I mean, you look at college sports and how it's become very revenue-driven. And I agree with college athletes getting a cut of the profits, right? I mean, they're essentially, for the price of a college education, being used to make literally billions of dollars. That's with a B. But I would be as concerned, if not more concerned, about college-age students, college players, being able to, have this kind of level of activity and corruption in college sports. I mean, I think it's the natural, in some ways, easier targets, right? More malleable, possibly more in need.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, I was reading on the way in a thing about ESPN saying that Congress needed to get involved.
Yeah, maybe. I think really what's needed is leadership of the commissioners of each league.
Right.
They're the ones. They're the ones in jeopardy. And, human nature is prone to error.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
When we come back, we'll talk about the human nature of Democrats. They still have some, I think. Back after this.
Hi folks, John Fredericks here for Freedom Alliance. Veterans are still struggling with the wounds of war. They came home with injuries that changed them forever. The flag-burning troublemakers in our streets remind me how fortunate we are to have patriots who served and fought, sacrificed, and never complained. We need to support them through organizations like the Freedom Alliance. It's Military Appreciation Month and time to support those who serve. Freedom Alliance is caring for combat veterans and military families. Combat veterans fought in the worst, most dangerous places on earth. Freedom Alliance takes them to nature's most most relaxing locations so they can heal. Freedom Alliance gives injured troops mortgage-free homes, new cars, and all-terrain wheelchairs. For wounded vets, there's nothing like the stability of your own home, the reinsurance of a reliable vehicle, or the independence of a wheelchair that navigates snow, ice, beach, pasture, or most any terrain. Let's fight for those who fought for us. Go to freedomalliance.org/Godzilla and make a monthly gift that will improve the life of a military hero. That's freedomalliance.org/Godzilla. Make a contribution today.
If you're like me, most moms find it difficult to prioritize self-care. Hi, it's Colleen, Program Director at the John Fredericks Media Network. With the demands of programming 13 radio stations, it's easy to forget about the things I should do for myself daily. And that's why I started with our company's Women's Challenge with Native Path Collagen Peptides. It's affordable and convenient care in just one scoop a day. There are so many incredible health benefits like bone and joint support, metabolism booster, and hair, skin, and nail improvement. I like to take a moment each day to prioritize myself and indulge in the health-boosting benefits of Native Path Collagen Peptides. I love mixing it up with all the different smoothie recipes, too. Learn more about Native Path Collagen Peptides and read 7 important reasons why you should be taking collagen peptides at getnativepath.com/Godzilla. Prioritize your self-care with Native Path Collagen Peptides. Try it risk-free for as low as $21 today and get free shipping at getnativepath.com/Godzilla.
Target.com. Target.com is an online e-commerce tire retailer. We are here to serve the American public with the best possible customer service, the best pricing, and we make it extremely easy. We have many name brands and a lot of low-cost tires. The price is right, and it's easy. You go online to Target.com, Tireget.com, Target.com. You go there, you put your zip code in, all the inventory displays right in front of you. You can call in for help if you want to. We'll help you get the tire that you need. But we will take the tires you buy and at no extra charge deliver them to the dealer right by your house where they will be installed at the market price. It's easy. The best price, the best service. Great people to deal with. Thank you for going to Target.
I didn't risk my life for this country just to watch career politicians wreck it.
Matt Van Epps, 9 combat tours. True American hero.
Now, I'm on a new mission to bring down prices, create good-paying jobs, and lower healthcare costs for working families. I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message to fight for America, because that's what I've done my whole life.
Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Clint Brewer in studio. Clint, the shutdown, which is now still in, it's day 42. It's a record shutdown. The previous record was 35. It's almost over.
I miss it already.
Late last night, the Senate passed this continuing resolution. Mm-hmm. They revised it a little bit to extend it until, I think, January, It passed 60-40. It just as the vote to end the filibuster, passed 60-40. You had 52 Republicans, minus Rand Paul out there on Libertarian Island. You like that?
Libertarian Island?
Yeah.
Is it a game of Survivor?
I think so.
A game of one?
And then you had 8 Democrats, or those who caucus with Democrats, either not up for re-election or in relatively safe seats, join the Republicans. And so now it goes to the U.S. House of Representatives. I think the vote is scheduled on Wednesday. If it passes in the House, it'll go to the president for signature. He'll sign it as soon as it's passed. And then the money starts to flow again Thursday or Friday. Air traffic controllers start to get paid again. What do you think is going to happen in the House?
I mean, I think they're going to pass it. I think it'll be narrow, but I think they're going to pass it. I think some Democrats probably won't have a choice.
Really?
Well, I mean, look, I think you'll see more of what you saw in the Senate, right? You're going to have some people peel off.
Yeah.
It'll be narrow. But, look, I don't think anybody's in the history of government shutdowns, which this country's had several, I don't think anybody's ever won one until now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never really, you've never really seen a side come out ahead, but, Schumer is just getting destroyed by his own party, by the commentariat.
The commentariat.
He's just getting.
Are we in the commentariat?
Probably.
We're on the edge of the commentariat.
We're on the edge of the commentariat. But, I think that, I think that the Republicans stuck to their guns. I think the White House poured it on and they were just doing things that were realistic, which is, well, we can't pay for these things if the government shut down. The legislative branch appropriates, the executive branch spends. I mean, that's how it works. And so
some federal district court judges don't see it that way.
Yeah, well, they probably can't balance their own checkbooks, right? So, I mean, it's just like if there's no money, you can't pay for things.
Yeah.
So these are the things we're going to shut down.
Yeah.
I think most Americans, unless they were on SNAP benefits or needed an airline flight, probably didn't notice.
Yeah, those two elements, SNAP, or unless they were an air traffic controller or a federal employee.
Right.
But I think you're quite right.
Right, outside of the federal employee base.
Does Chuck Schumer survive as the minority leader for the Democrats in the Senate? And if he does, how long does he survive?
Well, if he survives, I think this all but seals his fate in terms of his reelection. I mean, somebody significant from New York is going to run against him.
He's up in 2028.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he should lose his job. I mean, he should. This was not a good strategy. He took it to the edge and he blinked.
He thought it was a good strategy, though.
Well, look, it was a bad strategy, but even if you buy into the bad strategy, you've got to see it all the way through.
Sometimes, actually, they say, even if you have a bad strategy, as long as you execute it well.
Yeah, that's my point. You're right. I mean, he didn't get anything out of it. Like, the main point of this was the Affordable Care Act, and they got nothing.
Yeah.
And then now they've got to go back and fight that battle again after having caved on this one. So, it's just not, from a strategy standpoint, poorly played by Senator Schumer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I guess Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez could challenge him in 2028 for the Senate. But then if she did that, she wouldn't be able to run for president or vice president, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think she needs to spend some time in the Senate before she tries to lead a free world, right? I mean, it doesn't bother me.
She might disagree with you.
It doesn't bother me. I think, I mean, given how politics seem to be going in the state of New York, I think she probably has a pretty good shot at it, even a couple of years down. I mean, essentially, the cycle starts, the cycle is now.
Mm-hmm.
They're 28. I mean.
Presidential cycle.
Yeah. I mean,
Did you see, speaking of which, Gavin Newsom.
What's he doing in Texas?
Well, he's an unserious person.
Yeah.
Right? And yet, he's an unserious person with a bit of a platform.
Yeah.
I'll have to say that he has a particular strategy. And the strategy is to fight, anything Trump.
Right.
But it's also, don't look at my track record.
Right.
Well, but
after the election, after last year's elections, he started off 25 in listening mode.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to conservatives on his podcast and acting like he was going to meet people where he found them and trying to discover what's in the middle. And now he's swung the entire different way.
Right.
And he seems to play to whatever audience is in front of him.
And, yeah, the point.
It just looks very intellectually inconsistent.
Of course.
Yeah.
But he thinks it's going to work.
Well, I mean, I do not see this country electing a California governor or president of the United States.
Before we get to any of the 2028 stuff, we have a couple things going on, of course. We've got, Zoran Mamdani.
Yeah.
coming in to be the mayor of New York City. He wants to basically immediately implement all of his leftist stuff.
His acceptance speech was shouty.
It was angry.
Yeah, was not the guy that was on the trail. I mean, even you had
I'm shocked.
you had left-wing commentators talking about that, about how he kind of blew the opportunity.
Well, I don't think he doesn't think he blew the opportunity.
Well, no, of course not.
He laid out what he's going to do.
Right.
I think, which he always intended to do.
Right.
Have you seen who wants to be the chancellor of the schools in New York City? Who's lobbying for the job? The famous fire alarm puller, Jamal Bowman. Remember him, Congress?
No.
The guy who went in and he didn't want to have a vote in the House.
Oh.
That guy?
Yeah,
and he pulled the fire alarm?
Yeah.
Got off with a warning?
Yeah, I think you said it right. The phrase is not a non-serious person. I mean, the Democrats keep elevating these folks.
Yeah.
I at this point, you typically in politics would start to see the pendulum swing back a little bit in the midterms. But all these off-cycle races, they were all in blue to purple states and went exactly the way everybody thought they were going to go.
Yeah,
there's no news.
Except it was a little more emphatic. So, for instance, in Virginia, I do think it might be news that the 36-year-old Democrat with very little legal experience, who was running to be Attorney General of Virginia, the guy who wanted to kill his opponents and watch the children of that guy die in the arms of their mother, that guy won by 6.5 points.
Yeah, no, I get that. I guess what I'm saying is the more top-line races. I mean, I know that's a statewide race, but most people really in this country are not following the AG's race in Virginia. As interesting as you've laid it out, it is interesting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think any of these races, governor's race, New Jersey,
it wasn't
Virginia.
Surprise to me. It was not a surprise.
No.
The only surprise were the following. It was not a surprise to me that Spanberger beat Winsome Earl-Sears. She was a bad candidate.
Yeah.
And even the margin wasn't a surprise.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't a surprise that Mikey Sherrill won the governor's race in New Jersey. It was a surprise, the margin. It's like 13 points. Right. So, and it was not a surprise to me that Zohran Mamdani beat Andrew Cuomo.
No.
So those were, large, in the land of surprises, kind of a
not a
low
surprise that California voted to
not a surprise
blow up their redistricting process.
But don't you think the game is going to be all of this state level redistricting that's going on, those little fights? It's going to matter.
It is going to matter. I think, though, I got to tell you, I think the Republicans are gearing up pretty well. I think that the committees are well ahead in fundraising from the Democratic committees. It's going to come down to candidate selection and ground game and momentum. And, I think you'll see the White House pivot back to domestic policy.
That's the key point, isn't it?
Yeah.
They got to pivot back to domestic policy.
I think you're going to see the messaging shift ahead of the primaries. And the president's gotten out early and often on primary endorsements. We've seen that here in this state.
Endorsing.
I feel like that side of the aisle's tight. I feel like they've got a good plan going in to mitigate. I mean, look, again, it's about history. Every midterm goes the opposite way of the party in power. So,
might be a little different this time. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, out of control, federal district court judges. What can we do to stop them? Back after this.
everyone. EJ Haast here, founder of the Digital Footprint Management Agency and frequent guest on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, here to tell you about GetFoundEverywhere.com. Customers are searching for your business everywhere: Google, Apple Maps, TikTok, and new AI platforms like ChatGPT and Gemini, which is a total disruptor. Traditional search engine optimization isn't dead, but it is on life support. Old tactics don't work anymore. So how can you make your business stand out? GetFoundEverywhere.com makes your business pop on over 50 search, map, review, and AI-driven platforms. With one easy dashboard, manage business profiles, social media accounts, direct messages, even texts and reviews. GetFoundEverywhere.com is affordable, boosts your visibility, and gets your business more customers. It's time to step up your game the easy way. Save time, save money, and get more customers with GetFoundEverywhere.com.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of Glockstore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at Glockstore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at Glockstore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
My fellow Americans, my good friends, I've known them for a long time, at D.T. McCall & Sons have the deal of a lifetime for you, and nobody knows deals like I do. That much I can tell you. Nobody knows deals like I do. The lumber yards, they can hit you with hidden charges for up to $200 extra. They'll charge you for cords and hoses and haul-offs. Your money goes all over the place and out of the state, and most importantly, out of your pockets. How do they get away with that? I don't know how they do that, but on day one, if you buy from McCall's, we are going to stop the hidden charges as soon as you buy it. D.T. McCall & Sons has locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, and they have been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years. Head to one of their stores today or check them out at dtmccalls.com. You're going to love it, believe me.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message.
Meet woke liberal Afton Bain.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Afton Bain, so woke, she thinks it's a win to harass police.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Woke liberal Afton Bain. When she wins, we lose.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back in studio. All-star panelist, good friend, Clint Brewer. Clint, I have a story from German-owned Politica. Every time I say it, you laugh. It's funny. It's true.
It is funny.
This is interesting, though. I'll read the story. It gets your reaction to it. Senate Majority Leader John Thune, who, by the way, I think he's doing a really good job.
I do, too. Yeah.
I mean, he's really, well, first, he's John Thune. He's not Mitch McConnell.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a win right there. And he's in great shape, and he can do a backward flip into a lake. Have you seen that? Have you seen that?
I have not.
Yeah, he's in pretty good shape. Is
that going to be a future qualification for all majority leaders?
I think it might have to be.
Okay.
Right? Because basically McConnell would simply fall into the lake. Dutifully. We don't wish him. We wish him the best of health.
Yes.
McConnell. But this is interesting. So I think Thune's done a really good job, actually.
Same.
He's exceeded my very low expectations for him. I didn't have high expectations.
Okay.
But I think Thune is a much better pick than John Cornyn would have been by a long shot. This is the story. I'll read the story from German-owned Politico. Thune secures provision in government funding bill letting senators sue for phone record seizure. The new legislative language is an escalation of the GOP's effort to discredit former special counsel Jack Smith. Senate Republicans secured this is by Haley Fuchs, F-U-C-H-S. Senate Republicans secured a provision in the bipartisan shutdown ending government funding package that could award senators hundreds of thousands of dollars for having their phone records collected without their knowledge as part of a Biden-era investigation. That legislative language came directly from Senate Majority Leader John Thune in an interview Monday evening. This is the German-owned angle on Politico. Senator Ted Cruz, our Texas, who claims he was one of the lawmakers to have his data subpoenaed as part of former special counsel Jack Smith's investigation into Donald Trump's efforts to subvert the 2020 election, says the way German-owned Politico has reported it, said Thune was responsible for the inclusion of the provision. Now, all that does is it allows them to recover financially for any litigation, I think, to sue. They've had the right to sue, and I think they will sue. Our own Marsha Blackburn.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this. Not only was Senator Blackburn, not only did the FBI and Jack Smith go before a grand jury and get a subpoena signed by the grand jury and by federal district court judge James Boasberg, he also signed a gag order, an illegal gag order in my view, telling Verizon, her comms provider, they could not tell her anything about this for 1 year.
Yeah. Troubling.
Well, I think this is going to pass.
Yeah.
And I think Senator Blackburn and 8 other U.S. senators have a huge cause of action against Judge Boasberg for, let's go down the list, violating the speech or debate clause of the Constitution, violating the separation of powers doctrine of the Constitution, violating the Stored Communication Act, violating Senator Blackburn's First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, and Fifth Amendment, wait for it, due process rights.
Mike is currently enrolled in law school, for those of you who didn't know. He's showing off right now, just letting everybody in the listening audience, viewing audience know. There's a little bit of showboating by Mr. Leahy.
A little bit.
Quoting all these laws
I wrote an article
off
about
top of your head.
No, I wrote an article about it.
Okay.
But still, those are all those elements are in the articles of impeachment.
Yeah.
That Brandon Gill has filed and co-sponsored by 20 people in the House, including Andy Ogles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we really have an out of control judiciary at the federal district court level.
Right.
The 200 plus federal district court judges appointed by Barack Obama and Joe Biden have a very different view of who runs the executive branch than the Constitution and Founding Fathers do.
Right. I heard read an article recently where it talked about how intellectualism and civic engagement in China was driven by engineering, and in the United States it's driven by law. And it was a very interesting article talking about the differences in the culture, and talking about how China glorifies engineering and STEM activities. There was a recent movie in China, and their movies all look like sort of schlocky 80s and 90s movies. But it was talking about how the stars of this movie weren't the pilots; they were the engineers who built the fighter jets. And so,
in America, it's the fighter jet pilots,
right? But in America, we have a culture that's really driven by law, and not necessarily in a good way. It's become very litigious. lawfare is very real, and so many of our political battles being fought in courtrooms now. And I don't think it's a positive thing.
I won't disagree with you.
Yeah.
And yet, it's what the left is doing.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
clearly, yeah.
They are manipulating the legal system.
Right.
And right now, in Trump 2.0, what they're doing is they're manipulating the legal system to delay the implementation of the Trump agenda, the America First agenda.
Right. And it always seems the pattern here with lawfare is the Democrats figure out a interesting new approach. They drive it to the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Republicans have to respond. They usually respond in kind, and then they get blamed for it by the press.
Speaking of legal issues,
I never understand why we don't go back to the original act and capture in our why the I'm going to use the phrase again, the word again, the commentariat, and the reporters never capture the fact that both sides are frequently engaged in this kind of activity.
The Daily Mail has this interesting story. A Trump-appointed federal prosecutor in Miami has launched a probe into a grand conspiracy by Democrats led by Barack Obama to destroy Trump's political ambitions. Jason Redding Quinones, U.S. Attorney for Southern District of Florida, has subpoenaed at least 30 Obama officials involved with an investigation into Trump's 2016 presidential campaign, the New York Times reported. Quinones, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida, has subpoenaed, basically, the Miami probe, rather, follows up on a, this is the Daily Mail, follows up on a far-right theory that Obama officials used the hoax investigation in an attempt to jail Trump after the 2016 election. That's not even from German-owned Political. That's from the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like
there's a pattern.
There is a pattern.
Yeah, there's a pattern. And we talked about this, I think, on the last show, how much former President Obama has tarnished his legacy. Getting involved in these campaigns, get his administration allegedly being involved in this kind of activity. I mean, look, regardless of what you think of him, there are a lot of people who I think call him a globalist, but you don't see George W. Bush doing all these things. You don't see him reaching back, trying to stay involved in party politics, still trying to king make like Obama has done. I mean, it's a little untoward.
Yes. It is, and there's a little bit of a difference in the sense that I think Obama was still quite young when he left the presidency. What do you do when you're, I don't know, how old was he when he left the presidency? He was 61. He was 50, he was born in 61, I think. So that would make him, when he left the presidency, he was still, 57. So relatively young.
Yeah.
George W. Bush was a little bit older. I think the smart thing to do.
Go start a company. Go serve on some boards. Do some speaking. Work at a college. Do what everybody else who leaves higher office does.
Raise money. Get your library.
Yeah.
And look, George W. Bush, his library is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's built. It's done.
It's built. It's working.
It's providing opportunities for students.
It does not look like a brutal architecture monstrosity.
No.
Now, Obama's library, they say, is ready to open. I saw it didn't look as terrible as it has, but it still looked pretty bad. And so, we'll see. I think you're right about that. I mean, at some point, it's almost as if, Barack Obama is kind of looking for a way to get out of the house.
He needs a kitchen pass. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just telling you.
He's trying to find a way to stay busy. I'm going to be out in the garage.
Michelle, I'll be out in the garage.
I'll be out in the garage.
Just call me
till the end of the year.
Call me if you need me, Michelle.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, look, anybody who's seen Michelle Obama go off and talk about how hard it is to be the first lady when it just I guess I have some empathy for the difficulties that Barack Obama has in his post-presidential life.
Yeah.
It's not been very successful, actually.
Really?
I don't think so. I mean, he's made a lot of money with Netflix, but none of his shows have done very well.
Right.
His wife has got a senior dating show that's a total dud.
A what?
Yeah, it's like dating for seniors. I know. I forget what it was, but it's like it's about as bad as you might think. And she's got this awful podcast.
Yeah.
Where she just bemoans how miserable her life is.
Yeah, I think there's sometimes people are not as interesting as they think they are. And
she's not interesting.
And I mean their moment kind of came and went, right?
Yeah.
I mean they're not I know
no one to leave the stage.
Well, exactly. And he continues to come back, but there's just not that level of enthusiasm with Democratic voters now.
You know who the Democrats are enthused about right now? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Zoran Mamdani.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
And the Obamas are really not in the zeitgeist. I mean, let's just say the quiet part out loud. You're talking about a president who personally curated a kill list in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Using civilian intelligence agencies and predator drones. So he's definitely not in the zeitgeist, right?
Not now.
I mean, so.
When we come back, Clint, your favorite part of the week.
What is that?
News Potpourri.
Oh, okay.
Of course. Back
Okay.
after this.
CEO of Soul Tea, a supplement to help you have a healthier heart and stronger cardiovascular system. At Soul Tea, we regularly get emails from our customers telling us how Soul Tea has helped them. Like this one from Kelly. Hello, I'm 58 years old and have had high cholesterol for years. I wanted to stay away from prescription drugs. My husband and I have been using Soul Tea for about 13 months. My results have been amazing. My cholesterol levels went from 291 to 129. I am so impressed with Soul Tea and want to thank you. Now, in my own case, my bad cholesterol dropped from 130 to 89, and that was 20 years ago. I'm 75 years old and I take 0 prescription drugs. To get a great deal on Soul Tea, please go to GodzillaHeart.com, and when you check out, use the code Godzilla to get our best deal, which is 50% off your first shipment and then 3 bottles for the price of 2 thereafter. You don't have to live with a broken heart.
Do you suffer from
Try
declining
Soul Tea
bone and
today.
joint health? Hi, it's Tina with the John Fredericks Media Network. And when I heard about our company's Women's Challenge, I jumped on the opportunity to test this amazing supplement that's already restoring my bone density, soothing my joint pain, and helping me regain lost mobility. I've experienced so many benefits in such a short time with Native Path Collagen Peptides because they support my bones and joints, boost my metabolism, and unleash the most radiant skin and hair since my 20s. In just 2 weeks, my knee stiffness is gone, and I'm already hitting the gym more aggressively. And I get so many compliments on my glowy skin and shiny hair. Native Path Collagen Peptides are so easy to take. They're tasteless, odorless, and mix great with my morning coffee. Read thousands of 5-star reviews at getnativepath.com/Godzilla. Level up your self-care with Native Path Collagen Peptides. Try it risk-free for as low as $21 today. And get free shipping at getnativepath.com/Godzilla.
In 2008, the amount of concentrated time people could spend on a task without becoming distracted was 12 seconds. 5 years later, it was only 8 seconds, 1 second less than a goldfish. If you're often distracted or have trouble recalling information, you're likely to fall behind in the demanding, fast-paced 21st century. In other words, brain performance is more critical now than ever. Boost your brain power with Healthy Cells Focus Plus Recall. Science-backed nootropics to help you sharpen focus, concentrate longer, enhance recall, improve mental speed, learn rapidly, and be more alert. It's a pill-free brain supplement made with maximum absorption ingestible gel technology, designed to feed your brain at the cellular level. Take it for a test drive. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of Focus Plus Recall. That's healthycell.com, code GODZILLA for 20% off.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. In studio, all-star panelist, good friend, Clint Brewer. Clint, it's your favorite time of the week. It's time for News Potpourri. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, News Potpourri. This is the portion of the program where we talk about those stories that are of note, don't necessarily merit a full segment, and may have, just may have, a touch of irony. Well, this is more humor. You might want to, we're going to play this clip.
Okay.
Here. Who is the most humorous Republican member of the United States Senate? That would be Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana. Here's his latest.
I want to be careful, Will. I don't want to do anything to upset our agreement. If I did that, my colleagues would, I don't know, they'd have Katie Porter slap me to Pluto, and I couldn't blame them.
Katie Porter. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
She's she had another clip where she was like yelling at Donald Trump for allowing private planes to fly during the shutdown. She thought, no, we need to have the commercial planes. Don't fly those private planes. Okay, Donald Trump had a couple of ideas here. One directly attributable to him. The other to some housing geek. Tariff rebate checks of $2,000. I don't know. What do you think?
Does everybody get one?
Yeah, apparently below a certain income.
Oh.
This is the political move, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm lukewarm on it. Or even...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Also, somebody's floated the idea of having 50-year mortgages.
Right.
Yeah. I think maybe it'll help your cash flow for a first-time buyer for a period of time, but you still got to pay your mortgage insurance on it. If it gets you into it, and then you can like prepay the principal without penalty, yeah, maybe. But it doesn't look. It looks like a.
I mean, I think a lot of people have a hard time with down payment.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think that's the barrier, is getting the cash together.
I think you're right about that.
Right.
You know, I saw that the latest stats are the average age of the first-time home buyer was about 28 like a decade ago. It's not 40. That's not good. That's why I saw that. I don't know if it's true, but that's not a good thing.
No.
Okay, we got a couple of other little interesting things going on here. You see Donald Trump wants to have the new NFL stadium named after him in D.C.?
No, but not altogether unexpected.
Not unexpected at all, I don't think. Here's a sports story.
Uh-huh.
So weird. I mean, if you're an SEC coach and you don't go, if you're not in the championship round, your job's in jeopardy, I would say, right?
Yeah.
The SEC is very, very tough. And Brian Kelly, who, had a 700+% winning record, but lost a lot of the big games, got fired midseason. He was 5-3.
Right.
They got blown out at home by Texas A&M.
Yep.
And he had a contract that they owed him like $54 million. Have you seen this now? So the athletic director who brought him in and signed that contract and then fired him has been fired.
Well, yeah, he's also the same guy who did the Jimbo Fisher contract at A&M.
Yeah.
The guy can't bargain his way out of a paper bag.
But now they're not LSU's not going to honor that buyout because they say we fired you for cause.
Right.
Well, losing games isn't for cause.
Well, there may be something else back there.
Yeah. I mean, look, I tell you what it is. It's the new Republican governor there playing hardball.
Yes.
That's what that is.
There's some talk about LSU bringing back Ed Ogeron.
Oh, there's also talk about LSU bringing back Nick Saban.
Right.
Now, if you're Nick Saban, there's no upside to coming back.
I don't think I'd go into that mess.
No.
What does he need that for?
No. There's a weird story that was out there that the Blaze did about J6 pipe bomber. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
They said that, they thought it might be this person. Now they're all walking it back. I was kind of a little skeptical of that as well. Hey, did you see this? the outside of the Turning Point USA event at UC Berkeley yesterday, Antifa showed up.
Oh.
And they started a fight with the people attending. How shocked are you by that?
Not at all. Not at all. I hope the local police crack some skulls.
Well, yeah, I think they kind of did. Here's a weird story. I'm not sure I believe it, but there's a new poll out. Now we're in the land of the horse race for 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's a poll out, and I think it's by our friend Steve Cortez from the League of American Workers, rather. I mean, he just, it's a name that you pick up.
Right.
You get somebody.
I always wanted to start a political action committee and call it Americans for Good Things.
I love that. That's just why they pay you the big
Americans for nice stuff.
Americans for Good Things.
Yeah.
Well, the latest version of Americans for Good Things, this other group has put out a poll, shows that Gavin Newsom slightly ahead of J.D. Vance among men under the age of 30. I'm kind of suspicious of that. Because do men under the age of 30 want to be like Gavin Newsom or J.D. Vance?
Do men under the age of 30 know who Gavin Newsom and J.D. Vance are? That would be my first question. Please identify their titles and where they currently serve in public office.
Mike Pence is back.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was at an event, and he's not ruling out another run for president.
I thought he was doing like ShamWow commercials or something.
I think that's a pretty good idea. ShamWow. Hey, we've heard from Ilhan Omar. She's basically said, there's some people are looking at the possibility of deporting her back to Somalia.
I keep reading that, yeah.
Alleged immigration scams, etc. She's basically said, I don't care, deport me. I can live anywhere I want. And apparently she's got enough money.
Well, she's a member of Congress. She made some money, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, her husband has got all the campaign funds and it's made $4 million.
Oh.
That's how she worked it
I'm
out.
thoroughly depressed after News Potpourri.
Really?
I'm thoroughly depressed. Yeah.
I predict, though, the Vols will make it into its final 12.
Oh.
I predict it.
No.
Yes.
No.
I stand by it.
Absolutely not. That's not happening.
Clint Brewer,
don't get my hopes up. I'm not even entertaining
I want to
that.
undepress you.
Oh.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Up next, Rob Carson. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com. Listen to Michael Patrick Leahy and make America great again.
FlatFeeNashville.com is a full-service real estate brokerage that charges homeowners a upfront flat fee of $999 to completely list, market, and sell your home. We are all about saving consumers money, saving that equity. Nobody should hire an agent and feel like when that agent walks in the door, that agent is more concerned about the down payment on their next Mercedes purchase versus saving the equity that those homeowners have worked hard for. I've spent my entire career in ensuring that the equity that people save and they put into their monthly mortgage every single month, as much of that as we possibly can goes back to them when they go to list and sell that home. The idea is to give homeowners the ability to really create generational wealth.
FlatFeeNashville.com. flatfeenashville.com.